We are brought to you by Boss Bears Supplements. That's Boss Bears Supplements at bossbears.co. Hard work, consistency, and determination are difficult to sustain when your mind and body can't keep up. Fuel your body with what it needs to perform like a boss. Whether you're closing deals, pitching a new business idea, or training in the gym, Boss Bears take your hustle to the next level. Our ingredients are the highest quality with potency and serving sizes that are the gold standard in the industry. Check out all of Boss Bear's products at bossbears.co. They have apple cider vinegar gummies. They have ashwagandha. They have all kinds of supplements in delicious gummy form. They also have them in pill form if you don't want the gummies. I prefer the gummies. They are delicious, and I've tried the apple cider vinegar. They are very good. Use code Nicky at checkout to save 10%. That's bossbears.co, code Nicky. We are brought to you by Clout Power Supplements. That's KLOUTPWR.com. So here I have the protein, the Cravings protein from Clout. This one is the salted caramel. This is some of the best protein that I've ever had in my life. It's actually delicious. I like the salted caramel and the cinnamon swirl are my two favorites. Also, their pre-workouts are amazing. So they have the Karma Nootropic pre-workout. It's a nootropic and focused pre-workout. It's a lower stimulant formula, zero itch formula. It has 4 trademark ingredients, and has fully dosed ingredients. So far, the Arctic Cherry is probably my favorite of the Karma pre-workout. Also, try the Nero Aminos from them. And also the High Stimulant Mamba is some of my favorite too. And I really like the Arctic Cherry of that one. So go to cloutpower.com and use code Nicky to save 15%. KLOUTPWR.com. Code Nicky to save 15%. Hey everybody, welcome to the Nicky Free Podcast. We are here with Kirsten Silva.
Hi.
And she is a massage therapist for a lot of athletes and bodybuilders. So that's why we asked her to come on today. Also a musician, and she has her little dog here as well that's pretty popular in the gym. Kirsten, how are you today?
Oh, I'm good. Happy to be here. It's fun to do something different. So.
Yeah, this is great. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
And this is a little Ziggy, right?
Yep, I thought, because he knows so many people at the gym. I think there's people that actually look forward to seeing him more than me. So.
Yeah, that's like, I feel like every dog owner is like that.
That's fine.
So I work at Postdoc Brewery, and it's dog friendly, and I know there's a lot of people that know certain people's dogs, and they have no idea who the owner's name. They don't even know the owner's name, like.
That's fun.
But yeah, that is pretty fun. So let's talk a little bit about massage therapy. So what was when did you get into doing massage?
Well, a really long time ago.
Yeah.
I was like 21 when I
first started.
Massage school 20 or 21. And so I've been licensed since 2007. But I got into it. I always just thought it was really cool that somebody could change the body.
Yeah.
Whenever I had an interaction with somebody, like I had a headache once and someone was like, "Here, let me see." And I was like, "What kind of magic is this? I want to know how to do that." And then I actually dated like a ballroom dancer for a while, and then I would rub
what was his name, like Esteban or something?
I don't remember.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I feel like he was like Spanish and like.
No, he was white.
Okay.
Regular old guy. But yeah, he told me I was really good at massaging. He's like, "You should do that. You should." And I was like, I didn't even think of that. And then I was like, maybe I will. So yeah, I went to massage school, and then it was just really kind of a easy thing for me to do.
Yeah.
Like it just was something I was
naturally good at.
So I just did really well, and then in school and stuff, and then
And then it became a thing you were able to make money with. So it's
yeah,
like you're actually good at it.
cool.
And then people, there's a demand for it.
Yeah, especially in this bodybuilding world. I'm like, it's the best clients I've ever had because they're all so regular and committed to their health and their well-being, and they really pay attention to the results and change that we're trying to achieve. And they usually follow, well, they destroy their bodies actually at the gym all the time. But they also follow, like, they're like, okay, I need to foam roll my quad, she said. So sometimes they will.
So you'll kind of prescribe things for them to do.
A little bit, like some ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely feel better when I foam roll, stretch, do like a few yoga things, like, I don't know, any kind of stuff like that. If I can tell if I don't do it for a few days, you know, like.
Yeah, you feel it when you don't notice pain until it's there, right? But then when it's gone, you don't think about it because you don't have it.
Right.
So
you're probably able to really help people mitigate a lot of pain, and some of the pain and stuff that comes with bodybuilding probably help with like longevity in their careers too.
Definitely with the longevity, the kind of massage I do, it is painful. It's like I mean, not all of it, but it's like uncomfortable, right?
Is it almost like a workout for you sometimes?
Oh yeah. It's always a workout for
especially me. You're working on some big dudes sometimes.
I have to be strong, yeah. Because these guys
and so that keeps you in shape, I imagine, like.
Yeah, mostly because it forces me to have to maintain like a certain level of health and fitness.
Right.
Because otherwise I couldn't do it. So.
No, there's no way.
That's one of the reasons why I'm always in the gym. But.
Oh yeah, you're always there, body shop, right?
Whenever I'm not massaging.
Right. It's almost like you have to keep up your strength. So like when you get in there, like, is there some people that are just like really like wusses about it? Like,
no.
Is it? Or are they like, oh, this is so good?
Are a lot. Yeah, people will say that's good sometimes, right? But people oftentimes will think that my work is really intense, especially if it's like the first time someone's seeing me. A lot of the times, or if it's been a really long time, they will feel like their body is a complete disaster. Mm-hmm. Because all I do is go and find all the problems and like really point them out and like try to get rid of things and change. So it's like it just kind of sucks.
So do they sometimes feel like almost like attacked, like?
No, I mean, maybe.
Just like are overwhelmed by like
yes,
you have all these muscular imbalances and they're like, damn it.
I have to calm people or let people know. I'm like, it's okay. I know I say things. It's okay. Well, because okay. It hurts, but it's not hurting you. You know, like help people understand that. Well, it's easy to forget that when you're in pain. You know, It makes people get stressed out. It gives you kind of a weird, uncomfortable feeling inside, you know, like anxiety sometimes. Makes people sweat a lot.
Yeah.
I can usually tell by those things. But I try to like... So that's where change happens, though, is when you're in the uncomfortable places. Mm-hmm. So I try to like ride right on the edge of just as much as someone can handle. And then... so long as they can relax into it and breathe, because once somebody can't breathe or relax into it, then it's not going to do them any good.
That's when they kind of tighten up.
I mean, I'm not going to like restrain them and like, you know, just, it's not therapeutic.
Yeah. So if they come in, what's a session usually like? Is it about an hour long or?
Hour and a half. I used to do more 2 hours, but it's just a lot.
Right.
It's just a lot because then if I have like everybody gets a 2 hour, that's just like 8 hours of massaging in a day because I'll do 4 people usually. I
was going to ask that too, how many people per day? Because that's got to be, you can only handle so much.
Yeah, 3 to 5. 5 is like only every once in a while and only if there's like a break.
You got to have a break, right? But, you get fatigued.
Yeah, I do 4 back to back most days, which is fine.
So, like today, do you have like 4 set up for
today? I just have 1, which is nice. So, I mean,
so that's why you're able to come do a podcast.
Yeah, I kind of like cleared the morning off, and I thought I had 2, but I mixed that up. So, I have 1, and then tomorrow I have 4 again. So. Mm-hmm.
Is it pretty rewarding doing that kind of work?
It's so awesome because it's like, I don't know, I love all the people that come to see me. They're like, I get to know them as people, and like, it's just, yeah, it is. It's really gratifying when somebody's like feels better.
Yeah.
You know, when they have some kind of chronic thing and it actually got better, and you can just tell that they're just like, oh my gosh, like, wow, thank you. Like, that's the best. Or, yeah, it's just nice when people say, you know, oh, it's always better after I come here, or like just helping people feel better, or they're posing, they'll look better because there will be spots that get stuck, and then they'll want to open it up and
Yeah, so what is it about the massage that really helps with posing? Because I imagine that really does.
well, so
Relieving certain tightnesses and
so I'll explain a lot of things in layman terms because that is what I usually do. Usually I'm explaining it to somebody on my table, and so that's kind of how I've learned to explain things.
Yes.
So excuse me if I don't use as much like medical terminology, but it's harder for people to understand anyway.
No, that's good. That's what you should do, right? Like,
Yeah. So the body has all these different systems, you know, the musculoskeletal system, the cardiovascular system, endocrine, integumentary. But now I heard that fascia is starting to be, it may be considered a whole system of its own.
oh,
But
really?
that's like the connective tissue. Well, it's one of the kinds of connective tissue
Right.
that's between everything. It wraps every single muscle fiber, and then all the muscle fibers in a bundle, and then it wraps the bones, it wraps the organs, and like the nerves are connected throughout that too. Like
Yeah.
it's a pathway they're finding. But so if you want to know what it is, you're eating chicken. It's that filmy stuff, like
Yeah.
in between muscles. It's like the white stuff, the filmy kind of sheath. Yeah. So when something gets really tight and short, like you've been pumping on something for a really long time, and it gets really tight, then there's not as much circulation in there, just because it's dense, right?
Okay,
It
yeah.
can't open up as much, so you can't get as much blood and nutrients in, and you're also not getting rid of any of that metabolic waste, you know, from using it.
Right.
And the fascia will get really sticky. And so then the muscle, instead of the fibers like gliding past each other the way they should, or being able to move fluidly, then they'll kind of start to move as like one big chunk. And then it's just, then mobility starts to be inhibited. And once you have, like, if your ankle doesn't move right, then all of a sudden your hip isn't moving the same, and then all of a sudden your neck is bugging
It's
you,
all
and like you don't
connected.
even, it sounds cheesy, but it really is. And that's why I always want to look at the whole body. So a lot of times during my first session with someone, there's a lot of like feeling around, and I might be like, actually I'm going to turn you over, or actually I'm going to start with your legs, because you just don't know where anything's coming from yet.
Right.
But
And so how many years did it take you to kind of get that understanding of all that stuff? Like just a lot of trial and error and
just
well, in school,
massaging people
yeah.
forever.
How long have you been doing it?
Since 2007.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like I worked at a spa twice, and then I worked with a chiropractor, and then I worked for myself, and then I like worked at bars and did massage on the side, and then music and bars and massage, and then I kind of thought I was going to move into something else. So I live in near Bothell now, near the Body Shop,
Yes.
but I lived in Seattle for a long time, for like
How was that?
I lived in Greenwood, 1 block off of Aurora
Okay.
Avenue.
And you were doing massage then too?
Yeah, but
Was it pretty wild living in Seattle?
it was gross.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of
It was just,
it can be a
it
lot.
was frustrating to be, the neighborhood I was in was, there were a lot of new townhomes and condos, and like young families and people that probably make pretty good money because they're really overpriced homes.
Oh yeah.
But then
to live in
you're-
Seattle, you gotta be making.
Yeah, but then there's like homeless people everywhere, prostitutes everywhere,
Right.
garbage everywhere. There's one lane, two-way road with cars parked on both sides, and there's like
It's
people
crazy.
wandering around, prowling cars like just in the middle of the day, all
You
the
can
time.
like see how it happens too,
It's
because
so bad.
like as bad as the economy is, like how tight everything's been, it actually does not surprise me. Like I can see how people can fall into that life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's
especially in a
wild.
place with so many. I mean, I think it's. I don't want to go too far into that because I'm not like
Yeah.
anti-helping the homeless or anything.
Same. No, me neither. But there's
totally.
definitely something
But yeah,
that could be
there's a
done.
lot
Or
of ways. Okay, the system, the way that it's set up is it's like you either have to be doing good
yeah,
or you can't be doing.
yeah.
Because
It's
then you
almost
get
like
all the benefits if you're not.
right. It's
But if you
almost
start
like
doing
either
okay, then you get no benefits and everything's too expensive.
it's kind of like in the middle. You're screwed the
Yeah.
most.
So you have
So
to
you see
either-
why people end up
Yeah.
going that route of just having nothing. Like
Well, yeah, because they get the food, they get
Yeah.
shelter, like there's all kinds of benefits.
that's like so. It's like
available.
how do you
Free
incentivize
phone.
people to work then? Like.
Yeah.
It is weird. That's a tough question. Like, I definitely don't have the answer to it, but it is like
No.
definitely something's got to be done about it, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
it's
whole
like
thing.
you just need to get like extremely rich. That's the only.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like either that or it's
or
like,
you have to lie.
yeah,
to
basically.
get by.
Basically, that's what it is. So many different jobs. So bartending, and how did you like bartending?
Oh, it was so fun when I was younger.
And what kind of bartending did you do?
Well, I did cocktail waitressing more
yeah.
so, and I worked at my friend actually still owns this place, Hula Hula's.
Where's that at?
Now it's in Capitol Hill on Olive. It's super duper fun.
Dope.
It's still my most favorite karaoke bar. It's like a tiki themed karaoke bar.
Oh yeah, they got like rum drinks and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's so fun. But I cocktail waitress there a whole lot, and
Probably
then
great money, fun.
yeah, it's fun, super
Yeah.
fun. But then it's loud, it's intense, and then
It's
I
a
worked at
lot
some
after
other
a while,
places,
right?
But
Well,
yeah.
that's the thing we always talk about, like, so I'm like a bartender in a nice craft beer bar. Super family oriented, dog oriented, very chill. We close at 10 at night.
Yeah,
There's always that
2 a.m. is too late. for
right.
me.
It's like we're getting older, so it's like there's always that little temptation to like go back to the dive bar or the sports bar where you're up till 2, but
You know what? I did that the other night with some
Yeah.
friends, and we were like, okay, we're not going to do that again.
but that's what I'm saying. It's
We
like
went
so
to
tempting to
Everett.
go back for that
we went
money.
downtown Everett, and not to work there. We
No, I
actually
know,
went out for
but just to
drinks.
see the drink, yeah, just to kind of go back into one of those places.
Well, yeah, because you can go to like a party place that's open late at night, and you'll
make
be
good
making
money.
hundreds of dollars in tips
Every
by the end of
night.
the night. Yeah,
But you're not
every
going
night.
home till like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, and you're probably pretty intoxicated by then.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
it just
yeah.
goes with the job.
If you're trying to
So.
do like bodybuilding and not drink and be healthy and stuff, like it's tough.
Yeah.
It's
It's a hard
tough to live in
scene.
that life, but it's fun when you're
It's
doing
super
it.
fun. Yeah, I had a really good time. And
Yeah.
I bartended at a place called like Big Country for a little while too, but that was a short-lived.
Big Country. That sounds like there was a pro wrestler named Big Country.
Oh my god.
He was like this big 300-pound dude. They called him Big Country. I can't remember
Oh
his.
my god, that's a good.
I can't
wrestler
remember.
name.
Yeah, it was great. He'd come out like dressed like a hillbilly and everything. They call him Big
Oh,
Country.
that's awesome.
Coming to the ring, weighing in at 300 pounds. Big Country, and he'd come out to some like, I think that was he was a cool dude. I wish I
I'm gonna have
remembered.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
That was like a long time ago, back in the old days when like 2008 or 9. Dang.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Big
that's funny.
Country.
So the bar was called Big Country.
Yeah, it was a country-themed bar.
Now, do
But
you like country music?
I do. I like all kinds of music.
Same. I actually like some country.
Yeah, I like all music. I've gone through some really interesting phases, like with what I'm listening to in the gym. Like I went through like a big original Hank Williams thing back in the day.
Okay, so
I would
country,
lift weights
country,
to
like
Hank
real
Williams.
country. Yeah.
Well, I like all the
Yeah.
new whatever, but that and then
There's
I'll be
some good
listening to
new
rap
dudes,
or
like-
whatever.
I'm trying to think of dang it, Coulter Wall. Have you ever heard Coulter Wall?
No,
He's like a new dude, but he sounds like them old school dudes.
Is it country?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
okay,
you'd like it if you
good.
like Hank Jr. or Hank Williams.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hank Sr. Um, but yeah, he's a big one. But anyway, so yeah, rap too. Yeah.
I like all of it. I really do. I like all kinds of
I've been
music.
trying to listen to mostly like kind of like newer stuff and like rap lately, like anything where they're talking about like getting rich, getting bitches, get like I want to be like in that mindset right
You're
now,
like, yeah.
like just like cars,
Manifest.
yeah, try to manifest that shit. It's like, because I always like rock music, but it's like, and it's my favorite genre, that's what I used to play. But it's always kind of like, oh, the world's terrible,
Totally.
and I want to kill
Especially
myself,
our generation, like
and it's
Kurt
like I'm sad
Cobain.
and I have feelings and all this. I'm like, how is this actually helping my mindset of trying to achieve and things in life? Because it's kind of making me just want to go home and like slip my wrist.
That's really interesting. My mom, she does like psychotherapy and
Yeah.
when I was younger, she would say that I think we're the same age. I'm 30,
Oh.
almost 39 now.
Right, same. I'll be 39
so
next
I was
in
listening
January.
to all the
Yeah.
same rock probably as you, and like
And I love it to this
it's
day.
good, but she told me she's like it's like depressing. She's like it's no wonder,
So they
She
call that
noticed
like
that.
they call that like your diet of what you're intaking. Like, so it's not just your diet as in food. It's like diet as in what kind of media you're absorbing.
Well, yeah, it's like energy.
And so like I do love that stuff because I love a good to me that kind of music's painful, and it's like I love seeing artists express pain. And you're a musician, so you probably get this too. Like,
Oh yeah.
you're they call it transmuting pain. So like you take pain and you turn it into something that's
Yeah.
good, like a song.
Or there's other feelings, right?
But that's the thing; it doesn't always have to be pain.
Yeah.
And so like that's the problem is like you get too much into all that mindset, and it's like if you're trying to make positive changes in life, sometimes like. I mean, at the gym, trust me, I love listening to some rock because it's like, it gets you pumped. But there's something about like, I don't know, I've been into the like newer rap and stuff where they're just talking about being successful, being the shit.
Good vibes.
It's
right?
good vibes, yeah,
Uplifting, kind of like motivating,
Yeah, it's kind of like be proud of yourself, take care of yourself. A high achieving. Like I'm like, okay, that I can kind of get on that vibe.
That's
a little
good.
bit.
I like that music diet.
It is weird, yeah, and I think it almost everything too, like what you watch and stuff. You can get kind of caught up too much, and like like a lot of people are in all these serial killer documentaries.
Oh God, I have
They're fun.
They're fun, but then I'll stop and be like,
I need a break from that
I
shit.
can't. And also, a little part of me feels guilty for like supporting somebody making
people,
so much money off of a
terrible
person that
situation.
Murdered a bunch of people.
And there's all those victims.
They're getting fame, and that's like literally what they would want. A lot of them.
And that's what most.
Like, please, they'd probably be sitting there getting off their stories.
Oh, totally, because they're usually like super narcissists, and then, it's just like shooters and everything. I mean, why they do it because it's like the quickest way to get infamy, right? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, it's always a tricky one with that because it's like.
I know. I watched like the Ted Bundy one, and I almost started watching this new one with the guy Dahmer.
The Dahmer series was good.
I couldn't do it. I started it and I was like,
I couldn't quite get through it either because it was so like.
Jesus.
I still want to.
That first
victim
scene that almost died, and
I was so happy that he got away.
Me too.
Because I didn't think that. I was like, oh no, he's gonna. And it's like so funny how the neighbor the whole time knew shit was going on, and she's played by that Niecy Nash that was from remember Reno 911.
Oh, yeah.
She was fucking hilarious.
I
on
love
there.
her.
But she was great as like the neighbor lady. Like I know some
She's
shit's going on, but you won't listen to me because I'm black type shit. And that was true probably.
Probably.
But yeah, that show was good, and I haven't finished it for same reason.
Well made, but just like, okay, this is so
it was
dark,
too heavy.
and it's based off of real shit.
It was also really gross.
Yeah.
Like it was
super
really
disturbing.
Like he always like looked disgusting, like the smell and like all those beer cans.
Buckets.
Yeah, buckets of people like decomposing, and it's almost like they did such a good job that you could like smell it, and you're like, I just can't watch this.
Can't do it. Yeah. No.
I'll probably go finish it sometime, but
I took a break. I don't think I'll ever go back to that.
So like when you're doing cardio and stuff, do you ever like to watch stuff?
I don't do cardio.
You never do cardio?
No way.
What the fuck? None?
No.
We just had Sonia on here yesterday talking about how important cardio is. Yeah. Well, especially for us bodybuilders because our hearts are all going to fucking explode.
Yeah.
Because PEDs and
I'm not
fucking
using
muscle
any
mass
PEDs.
and
I probably should do a little bit of cardio just to
I
make
feel it though.
sure.
It's like it's kind of like if you don't really need it,
I don't. I hate it.
there's some like you probably
I
keep
feel
your
like
stress lower without it
if
sometimes.
you, well, I know that things like running marathons and stuff that actually puts years on your body. Like the human body isn't really designed for that kind of cardio. Like it gets to a point where the people
Right.
get that runner's high, and but that's basically just your body is dying, so it's like
Sometimes I think people
endorphins.
put too much in cardio and not enough in diet.
Right.
And
Yeah.
diet's like really
I'm
important.
kind of like, I would rather eat less than run
Then do
for an
two
hour.
shit.
Hell no,
Yeah,
I'm not going to do it.
that's what I always think. A lot of people do that where they're just, I want to eat like this, and then I'm just gonna have to do a shit ton of cardio. But it's like
Yeah.
you're still not making progress because you need to like change the diet.
I feel like I get better results when when I just like buckle down and eat
So
what I know
lifting,
is good and lift heavy.
so lifting and
And
nutrition.
I get my heart rate gets up when I'm like lifting
It does.
explosively
It
or
does.
moving quickly. So, I mean,
So you're still getting some sort of
I'm
cardio
getting
in a sense,
cardio.
yeah.
I mean, I
But
can run.
that's a
but-
big thing now. When did you start doing? Have you always been into weight training?
Yeah, well, since I started doing that when I was like 15, because my
Yeah.
dad was a big gym guy, and
Right.
like he took me, and then once I didn't have to be in the daycare, then I would go swimming in the pool at the gym, or we went to like Bally's,
Yeah.
and then I started screwing around with the machines, like I didn't
Figured
really
it
know what I
out.
was doing, but yeah, I guess I got like really into weightlifting when I probably like 25.
Right.
I think I noticed that I was like, drinking and eating whatever and partying.
More
and,
of that
like,
party
I started to
scene.
notice that I wasn't looking the same. So I
Right.
was
There's
like,
that always
oh
that
my
time,
God.
like especially you said we're about the same age. There's that period where you realize if you want to still have a good quality of life
Yeah.
into your later years, not like we're in our late years or anything, but like, you realize like there's a choice what kind of human being you want to be.
You gotta take
And
care
if you
of
keep
yourself.
living like a 20-year-old with drinking and eating whatever you
You're
want,
gonna be like 60 by the time.
yeah,
you're
the
30.
consequences are going to be you're going to age a lot faster and you're not going to feel good. Yeah, that's just water, straight
Try
up water.
this liquid death water.
Yeah. Oh, it's good shit. It's really just it's straight up water. It's kind of weird because it's like drinking out of a can. You're not used to drinking water out of a can, right?
Yeah, no.
But it's
Cool.
literally it's just straight up water. It's just good shit.
Yeah, I like it.
But yeah, so resistance training is something a lot of females don't do. Maybe not around here. We're probably,
I know. I'm like.
You're like, what do you mean? All
Some of my
female?
actually, the majority of my friends, like my base group of friends, yeah, they don't.
Because it's such a good thing. I think the resistance training, like, fighting sarcopenia, fighting like muscle loss as you get older.
Osteoporosis and all
Yeah,
that.
bone density.
Especially for women.
So yeah, that actually makes more sense that you're not as concerned about trying to like, because I think that's a mistake a lot of people make is overdoing cardio, not doing any weightlifting, and then eating like shit and wondering why they're like skinny fat and don't feel good.
Yeah, I think that I kind of lost track of my diet for a little while. I was in nursing school. I was going to be a nurse. I started that journey like
Yeah.
a really long time ago. Well, when my son was, so like 4 years ago. And I was almost done. I was like, I had 6 months left and then I changed my mind.
Really? You didn't want to go into that life.
I don't want to do it. And I realized that I was struggling with it because I'd been working towards it for so long and I was so close and
Right.
I felt like I had to, and it got to a point where I couldn't figure out what I was going to do for childcare during my clinicals for the next quarter, and I was like, I don't even want
You
to
had
do
to
this
make
at
a
all.
decision.
Like, I don't want to do this ever. I don't want to do this for work. I don't want to, like, this is... And
So did that kind of strengthen your own belief in what you already have going, your own abilities, and kind of like...
yes, it felt really good to just say, I'm not doing this. And it's also thanks to my clients and like, the business that I've been able to build all starting with me moving back into Briar and being close to Body Shop because Jeff, the owner of Body Shop, I've known him for a long time since he was
Yeah.
like really skinny and just
Yeah,
got
he
out
was
of the
telling me that when
military.
he was on
He
here,
was
and
a
I was
really
so surprised.
he was so skinny.
Yeah, I had no
Oh
idea.
yeah, he like got made fun of for being skinny. That's how skinny
I've always
he
known
was.
him as like this big jacked dude.
No,
so
no,
like,
he's just a skinny guy under all
yeah,
that.
yeah. That is crazy.
Oh yeah, he was so. Yeah,
It was really
just a
cool having him
sweetheart.
on here. Yeah, that's everybody's favorite gym, and
Yeah, he
they're
sent me like a
super
couple
good
people, and then they kept coming, and then so I was never this busy with massage when I was in Seattle, and the kind of people I got were like, you know, different. It wasn't. It was the general public, so it's
Right.
really nice to work on this group of people that are so into
So
into
they're
their
people that are
bodies.
they're people who look at investment in their body as like
Really
they look at
important.
spending money on their body as an investment. So they don't. It's not like it's probably not like pulling teeth trying to get them. It's
Well,
like they want to invest in their body.
well, they don't think of it as pampering.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I think a lot of people in our culture, it's like when you're saving money, the first things to go would be like, oh,
Yep.
getting a massage, getting your latte, getting your
Right.
nails done. Not getting your hair done, though, because people will not look good. Okay? They will
Yes.
still get their hair done with their...
100%.
They'll scrape it together for that.
They'll spend $400 on a hair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like
they're
nothing.
gonna... They'll learn to do their own nails, and they'll suffer, you know, their pain.
Yeah.
But this community is different, because it's like, yeah. And even the ones that don't compete, because I have trainers like Dom and Jordan, and they send me people, and some of them compete, some of them don't. But even the ones that don't compete, they're really like focused on their health and their fitness, and they have goals, and like I'm a part of that, and it's really fun. I love it.
That's such a good point, though, with the economy, how it is right now, and everybody's struggling right now out
It's
there.
always been.
It's crazy that is kind of like the first thing that goes is like the stuff like
self-care.
it really is
that
almost
you can't
like
see.
it's a privilege to be able to be healthy and take care of yourself.
In this
Yeah.
it's like
I mean,
I
you
feel
can
like
do it
we're-
at any level. I mean, you could be poor and still take care of yourself, but it's harder.
oh yeah.
You know, food, it's harder to.
Well, I feel like it's a different, like our parents' generation. I feel like it's a lot more like that would be a treat. You know, like you should be working. You should be
Yeah, my
working
parents
8 hours
would've
a day, and like you
Never
know, like,
spent the amount of money
Right.
on gyms and.
it's just crazy though because that's how I see my mom still. She works so hard, and I'm like, Mom, you need to take time to like eat something good for you. She's like, I don't
Yeah.
have time. It's like you need to make time. That's important.
Right.
That should be important.
You're right.
But
All they
that's not how
focused on
they're
was
conditioned.
working. You have to
Yeah.
work, and it's like.
And then they make you feel guilty because you're running around taking better care of yourself. But
Well, and then they almost part of them probably gets like a little bit of jealousy in a sense
Sure.
because you're living life
Which
in a
is
way
fair.
that they never opened themselves up to
Right.
be able to live their life that way, and
seems unfair. But,
yeah, they can't.
because that's not what they were.
Right, certain people get so stuck in the way that they knew things that if you're trying to do anything outside of that norm, they just even if you're successful, you know, it's if you were like struggling and not successful, I could see but even if you're successful, sometimes they'll kind of judge you for it, you know, like
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
the haters.
it's haters, yeah.
That's always a thing. It's not real though. That's somebody being upset with themselves and like turning it on to someone else.
Other people
right?
projecting, yeah. We get a lot of that. Do you remember that from the bar industry at all?
Oh,
Like just
there's
miserable
so much
people.
drama at the bars. Yeah.
It's kind of fun, but it wears on you.
Yeah.
If you like stuff that's not super boring, because I mean, honestly,
Keeps you
like
busy.
I don't like drama, especially if
It's
it has to do with
interesting,
me.
though. People watch drama shows all the
Yeah,
time.
but if it's like other stuff, like it can be kind of
Tell
funny.
me more.
Yeah, it can
Yeah,
be
tell
kinda
me
funny.
more. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I like it a little bit.
yeah, the bar. So that's one thing about the bar industry. It's usually never boring, right?
No, there's always some kind of crazy.
Have you seen any crazy fights? Like any you remember anything wild?
I mean, oh my.
And what's it like being a girl? Because it's probably like crazy how much you'd have to like get dudes hitting on you and all that.
Yeah.
I mean-
yeah.
That's how it is with women too.
I mean, I literally had a boss one time who was like, "You need to like flirt more."
and you're like, no, I
And I was
don't.
like,
I mean, that's up to you. That's
I
if
know.
you're
He was my
comfortable.
friend, too, so he wasn't
He was
really
probably
making me
being
question.
realistic, like, in a sense.
Yeah, he was
like,
trying to help me.
you will make more money if
but
you
I
do
was like,
this.
ugh, I don't.
But you can't. I
I don't
remember we
want
had
to.
this. We had a meeting one time at this sports bar I worked at, and there was some like, especially the more like younger and they were kind of more liberal girls that were like really, and I'm, this female empowerment and stuff, and I was like, I kind of agree with them. It was a little out of line. But they were like telling him like you have to like look pretty and stuff at work, and you have to wear makeup.
Oh.
And it's like you can't tell a girl she has
Don't
to
say
wear makeup.
look pretty. Yeah, don't
like,
say you have to wear makeup either.
Right, it's like
that's just not fair, right? Because you wouldn't never say that to a guy.
Yeah, like I would never have
you
to
could
do
say
that.
you need to you need
Clean.
to look nice.
You
need
can't
to be
look like
well-groomed.
you just rolled out of bed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
to be well groomed and look like you tried to look nice today.
Yeah, that seems totally reasonable
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah,
but I
that's
remember a
not
couple of those girls were
makeup.
like, "That bitch just said what?" And I'm like,
"Oh
"Ooh,
God,
shit."
oh, that's a lawsuit."
Yeah, I know. I'm like, if I was it'd be hard to be a boss because you couldn't say things like that.
These days, it's real crazy. I was watching a show.
Get sued.
What was I? I was listening to a show more when I was doing chores last night, and there was some joke where there was like some parents considering adopting a baby, and someone said and they were really offended that
Like,
they
how do
they
you
said,
know?
"How do you know? Until he's 5, he should be gender neutral." And I was like,
I think
"Jeez."
you could just call him he until he's old enough to figure that out for himself.
It's so confusing.
Well, it is weird. It's like, I mean, okay, so say he really is a trans person, and he figures it out later. Okay, you called him a he, and then he's like, actually, I'm a she, and later on, she'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, to be like, no, we just can't. I kind of like that Chris Rock joke from his new special where he's like, not only do I think abortion should be legal, he's like, I think it should be legal for the mom to do until they're 4 years old. He's like basically saying it's like the mom's right. Like, you got till 4. Like, if you want to off the kid, it's like,
my God,
Yeah.
that's awful, but yeah.
Well, it's awful, but I think he meant it in like a funny way, as in like kids are really hard to deal with
They
at that
are.
age, and moms might want to
That's
like.
usually after 4 though, it's pretty.
I don't think
chill,
he
so
actually
you can
meant you
wait.
should be able to kill kids. He was more like talking
Right.
about. I bet moms want to do that sometimes.
Totally,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure he was joking.
No, that special was fucking fire. It was.
Chris Rock.
Oh, the new Chris
okay.
Rock special, because like Will Smith slapped him, and now he's like.
Oh God, he's famous again.
Well, like after Will Smith slapped him, it kind of like woke up that old Chris Rock. Like, he's like he was on fire in that special. It was pretty.
You just
fun.
needed a little slap,
Yeah, he's
slap.
like really aggressive and on. He's just like funny. He was talking about Lululemons, how they cost like way too much.
I'm not impressed.
By Lulu's.
No.
I think his joke was basically like.
Is that what you're wearing right now?
No, he's like they cost like $100, but at least I know Lululemon's like anti-racist, and he's like, yeah, I kind of would rather just have the racist company that gives me them for $20. He's like, what are all these companies?
What are you paying for? I want the pants. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, like when the
Just
companies
pants.
try to be morally superior and all this stuff, and he's like, how about you just make the prices lower?
Well, because it works so well, because then you have a lot of people that feel obligated to use that company instead of this company.
You want
it's just
like your
marketing.
Starbucks with the side of morality, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. But yeah, the companies have really, it's almost cringe now.
Yeah, it's
The way that they've
annoying.
kind of
It's
taken over all these things that they don't actually care about,
Yeah,
and they support them to. It's cringy. There's a
Yeah.
lot of that around here.
yeah.
What are you drinking for coffee there?
Oh,
What's your go-to coffee place?
it's this is Gourmet Latte, which
Yeah.
is one of the places that I like.
Oh, yeah.
I actually usually make my own coffee at home because I have a little espresso machine that I love. But
Sounds delicious.
but sometimes it's fun to go to the stand. This is a hemp milk latte with 2 shots of white espresso, 1 shot of regular espresso, and 2 pumps of sugar-free vanilla.
God damn.
I know.
That sounds like some good
It is
shit,
good. It
girl.
is good.
God damn. I'm like, ooh.
I know. My friend
Yeah.
I was talking to one of my besties on the phone when I was ordering, and she is just like, oh my God, you get some regular coffee, some white coffee.
You're like, well, I'm a successful massage therapist.
Get all of
This
the
is what I
coffee.
do. Yeah.
I just need all of it.
It is good shit. This is just this Bones coffee, which I really like.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I like
Just
their
black coffee?
No, well, it's black, but it's like they're all like flavored.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So this one's like
nice.
rum and can't remember what flavor, like rum and coconut or some shit. I can't remember.
Yum.
Yeah, they do like weird flavors. Like one of them's like peppermint bark, like Christmas. I had eggnog because it was like Christmas specials. That was like last year when I was rich and I was like buying everything.
Oh yeah,
And
you were rich last year.
I mean, for a minute, yeah.
Damn.
For a minute. Hopefully that's hopefully that happens again this summer.
Just keep listening to that. You need a good music diet.
Well, that good music diet. Well, so we get really busy in the summer. So that's like how the bar industry,
Yeah,
at least
right,
where
'cause
we're
that's when
at,
people wanna
we
be
have a
outside in
huge
the sun.
outdoor area. You know, and them being dog friendly. And like a lot of bike riders, like
Beer and
rugby
bikes.
people. You know, so like our summer months. And then you gotta, you know, and I think the bar industry, you probably remember that. Just winter's tougher. Like after the holidays
it
until
is.
about now.
Everybody spent money, and then plus it's just cold and shitty out.
Yeah, people don't want to go out as much.
Yeah. People get back into.
So in the summer, I'll be rich again. But I just,
Sweet.
yeah. That's kind of how it goes.
Buy more
Then I'll be
coffee.
buying all these gourmet coffees and shit. Yeah. No, I love coffee though.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm definitely addicted to
I
coffee.
barely ever get to drink it on the podcast unless I want to have it at like 5 at night. You know, because I'm usually doing 5 or 6. We'll do a podcast and.
That's a little late.
It's too late.
Yeah.
Once in a while I do it, but so having a morning podcast
Perfect.
like now, it's like, this is great.
Yeah, have your coffee, start the day.
Yeah. So what about Starbucks? You like that or not so much?
I don't really like their coffee, but I'll take my kid there because it's really close to Body Shop, and I'll just let him get
Oh, they get those
pick
breakfast
his
sandwiches.
food. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Kids love stuff like that.
Oh
like,
yeah.
When I was a kid, we thought it was like cool to like go to McDonald's.
Oh yeah, they love McDonald's.
You know what I mean? Like we'd
It's
be
still
so
cool.
stoked.
Yeah, and now I think the play areas are open again, but McDonald's really, you couldn't even go and use the play areas during COVID,
Because it was
right?
COVID. Oh, yeah.
But I will not eat that. I might have a couple fries.
I can't eat it anymore.
I feel guilty giving it to my kid even because I'm like, this is not good for you. And
You
I'll
know-
tell him that, and he's like, no, it's okay. But
Right, when you're a
every
kid,
once
you can
in a
pretty much
while.
eat anything, but like,
But
I do
it's
know as a
not
mom,
good
you're
for
probably
you.
worried about what is going in chemical-wise into
it's a
your
lot of
kids.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing like Sonia was talking about was just all the chemicals we're surrounded by and stuff. It's
Oh,
crazy.
God. Yeah.
Like the plastics and all this.
It's in your blood now. So
Yeah.
someone was telling me that one of my clients, she listens to a ton of podcasts and she's like into biohacking and all that. But she was telling me she listened to something they tested they've been testing newborns' blood and there's microplastics.
Oh yeah.
Already in there.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like you just have to just pull back and just do what you can do to be
I think that's all
healthy.
you can do,
Yeah,
like,
and not
you know.
get too wrapped up in because it's just never ends. There's that.
If you
rabbit
get too
hole.
caught up in it,
There's always something.
you'll turn it like she was saying. You'll have a tinfoil hat on, and you'll just
Oh
be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
everything's a conspiracy, and it kind of is. I get it, but like worrying about it's not going to make your life better.
Right.
You know, just do what you can. Like you said, eat healthy. You know, I was even thinking like, okay, maybe use glass instead of plastic, but
Yeah.
I'm like, it's so
Well,
hard
then
to
they do
avoid
the
plastic.
the whole no BPA's. There's so many other chemicals besides BPA's.
That no BPA is the stupidest
It's
gimmick
just
ever
like
because it's
putting
like it
organic
doesn't
on,
matter.
Something that should be organic.
Right. It's like it's just another
Gluten
sales
free
gimmick.
on an apple. You're like, oh okay.
Yeah, oh, okay. Like, oh, yeah, they mislabel so much stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just like, well, it's like cereals put like healthy on it. It's sugary cereals, like heart healthy.
There's
It's
really
like-
no food in the stores except for on the edges.
They always say
right?
stick to the edges,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I know you can get little crackers and things, but
What kind of stuff do you like to do for like meal plan and diets and stuff?
well,
Are you just kind of intuitive with it?
I
Do you
was struggling a little bit last year, like just trying to well, okay, because I was in nursing school, and then when I decided, okay, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore.
you made your big decision, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, yay, I can go to the gym every day, and I don't have homework, and
Yeah, you got
So
your
that
time
was
back.
huge. I started lifting like regularly, not just in random windows of time that I had, but like almost every day. And then um, my friend Jamie was talking. He gave me like a little simple diet plan, like ideas. Like okay, we'll try this, like simple stuff. And it was just nice to have like a reminder of
Right.
like I just need these basic things in the kitchen. And so now I eat like a lot of oats for breakfast
Mm-hmm.
with berries sometimes. And
Delicious.
then I really like the dimetized protein. It works really quick for me. It's like a really fast one. And I
Mm-hmm.
think Cara Kate recommended that to me too. She's a bikini
Yeah, bikini competitor.
trainer.
Okay.
Too. Yeah, I love that stuff. And then I lately have found I really enjoy ground turkey. Like with
It is good,
I
yeah.
just cook it with like taco seasoning and then just mix it with rice.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Taco seasoning is amazing.
Or like
Yeah.
or like a high fiber pasta,
Right.
because then they have the ones that are like high fiber, low carbs, and then you can use that, and you know
Yeah, so you're staking on a really healthy
I'm pretty
diet,
much
basically.
eating only really healthy foods, and then I'll have like treats like mochi or something at night.
Oh, you gotta have a
But,
treat or
yeah,
something.
Yeah.
Like,
So it works though.
yeah.
Eating healthy for sure.
Oh, I
That's
think it's huge, right? Yeah. It's like basically the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
What you put in your body.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like you can't just randomly put weird stuff in your body and expect your body to be healthy, right? Like,
No.
and that's what it is. I always like, it's weird, like you're talking about the city being kind of like, when I drive around here, isn't it weird how it's just like all this temptation around you at all times? Like, it's like you're driving down the street and there's like all these lights of different places trying to pull, whether they're trying to sell you something or sell you food or sell you.
Oh yeah.
And it's we live in such a weird life like that.
Yeah,
Like,
it is weird.
it's just like tons of like like come in here and spend your money
It's
on
bizarre.
this. It's like
Yeah.
shining lights all around us. Like,
Is
come.
that rooster?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah. So you said you might have somebody that wants to take this rooster.
She said, "Hell no, I don't want a
Oh,
rooster."
so she doesn't want
She's
the
got
rooster.
a bunch of chickens, and she said sometimes they will.
It'll terrorize the chickens.
Yeah.
That's why we even have it. So like, the girl that had it.
He has a cute crow though.
Oh, he's so great. Well, actually, they have one of those freaking. I guess the neighbors didn't like the crowing or something or whatever, so they put this like crow suppression thing on him, and I hate
Oh my
I hate it. I hate
God.
the idea of it. Like,
That's terrible.
yeah, it's like choking him. You can hear it, and he's
So he-
trying to crow, and it'd be like trying to talk, but it's like, so like to me,
that's kind of fucked
I understand
up,
why
dude.
they did it, but I think that's really fucked up.
That's fucked up.
Shouldn't do
dude.
that to animals.
No,
yeah.
you should just give it to put it
We
somewhere
need to
else.
find it somewhere else where it can be free to crow. It's like.
That's sad. Yeah, he sounds like
I
a
know
pigeon.
that shit makes me sad. I don't know because I used to like
That's
hearing
a
him.
sad sound. I would go out there. And
It is.
take that
It's
thing
kind of like
off.
pitiful, and I know it makes you like, "Ew."
Take
You know,
it
it's
off.
not my choice. So, but
I know,
I would
right?
never do that. But it is kind of like,
Poor guy.
yeah, I liked hearing him crow in the morning and stuff because I kind of dig that. Like, because I get up pretty early anyway. And so I loved hearing that in the morning, But so if anybody out there needs a
Yeah,
rooster,
does anyone want a rooster? This poor
his,
guy.
his name is Blue. He's named after the Velociraptor.
I kind of
Blue.
want him. Put him
Yeah.
in. My neighbors would be like, "What
They'd be
the
pissed.
fuck?"
Then your neighbors would be the ones
Oh, they'd be so
angry about the crowing in the morning, because he'll do it at like 2 in the morning sometimes.
Oh,
like early,
Jesus.
early.
Put him inside the house at night or something.
Yeah, there you go.
He's still pretty loud with that.
Still
thing
pretty
on.
loud, even with that suppressant
Sounds
collar.
like a pigeon.
I know, you should have heard him. He was so proud and so good, and
Oh, poor guy.
I feel like it's like you're just like cutting his balls off. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Totally.
Like he doesn't want that.
It's
thing
sad
on
that he
his
keeps
neck.
trying.
We
Ugh.
do a lot of weird stuff to animals. Like I get it, we have to fix certain animals and all that, but it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little much. I know
Like-
I dyed his tail, but
Hey, let's see
about
it.
as far
Show
as,
the people.
Oh, well, they do it at his.
Well, I mean, he lives in Seattle. If he can't have
They
a
do it
purple
at
tail,
the
come on.
Fertition. It was for Valentine's Day.
That's adorable.
So.
He's like, look at me, I'm a little
He
purple-haired
doesn't.
Seattle dog. Yeah.
He
So his
doesn't-
name is Ziggy, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Ziggy.
And what kind of dog is he?
He's a Morky Poo.
The smallest dog I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah, he's 3.2 pounds.
Yeah.
He hasn't grown, and a long time. So
yeah.
I think he's full grown. He looks a little bigger now because he's so furry, but
He's super well behaved too. That
yeah,
he'll
he's
just
a
sit
good
for you
dog.
like that.
Yeah.
Like there's dogs like that that'll come to the bar and they'll sit like that the whole time. You know, you give
Mm-hmm.
them little treats and stuff. They freak out.
They're just happy.
They're so happy to be there.
Just to be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can hear that rooster. He's like, what?
He's probably like, what is that? Yeah, what a wild life. You got this podcast studio. We got roosters outside.
That's crazy.
Like I would have, if you would have told me like someday you're gonna have a podcast that you're gonna be living with a rooster in the backyard, you're gonna be living in near Seattle, I would be like, what? That's crazy talk, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So, anyways, we'll get back to your the other thing that you do that's really interesting is you play guitar and sing.
Yeah.
So you are into music and you're a musician yourself. You have a show coming tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm playing tomorrow at Patterson Cellars. It's a wine tasting room. It's a tasting room for their winery.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on 148th in Woodinville.
Yeah.
But they're connected. It's like a small strip mall with 3 businesses. So there's Patterson Cellars, and then there's Gorman and Gorman Cellars. They have wine too. And then there's Vivi's Italian restaurant, and they all like open between each other, and you can kind of like
So it's a shared experience between
and
all
I'm
the...
hoping, I don't know when it might be too cold again for me to be outside, but during the summer I'll play outside, and it's so much fun because it's always busier too, because it's a fun place to go, just probably like your work. It's more fun to go when you can sit outside.
Outside
enjoy
is
the whole
the
space.
way to go, yeah.
But I'll be playing there, from 6 to 8, and I play 2-hour sets.
Mm-hmm. How many songs is usually in that set list?
I don't even know.
I've
never counted.
You just have enough in the repertoire where you can...
I don't ever have a list planned out. I just play... I do every other song original.
Yeah.
So that I don't get...
So half of your songs are originals that you wrote.
Yeah.
Because that's impressive.
A ton of songs. I did. I don't really write them anymore. I probably could if I was inspired, but I feel like I'm just not as emotional as I was when I was younger.
That is really weird you say that, because I felt the same way.
That way.
Maybe that's like an excuse, because I'm sure we could both still get there if we needed to.
Oh yeah, if you want to.
But I don't know for you, but like definitely writing, kind of back to that music thing. There were times where like writing music takes a lot out of you, actually. Like for me anyway, it was kind of like getting into that headspace again, and it was like not always healthy. You know, but you got something great out of it.
Yeah, digging too deep, maybe.
Yeah. Well, because you're trying to do, like I said, we grew up with the same heroes. Like I'm trying to do justice to the people that came before me, and I want to live up to these, and they dug really deep to get those things. Like you got Chris Cornell. That's like some of them died.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get, live
those
up
raw
to that.
feelings,
So I'm trying to make it real, and it's not always fun being in that headspace.
No. I think, my songs, so I think it's really interesting when I hear how other people have written songs or write songs, because I've never been organized about it or really like...
It just kind of happens?
Yeah, it's almost like a bodily function.
Do you feel when you write, like, it's almost like it was always there the whole time? You're just kind of like pulling it out?
Yeah. It just comes right out. I'll write a song. When I write a song, it'll be in like 5 minutes.
Almost
done.
Like you're like...
It's crazy. But I haven't done
It's
that
almost
forever.
like the song already exists in the universe, and you're just like finding it.
Yeah.
That's
and
how I
believe
felt.
that about a lot of things.
Yeah. That's trippy, but like it's... I feel like there's something to the universe, right? Like,
oh, yeah. No, that's with all that manifesting and like the positive... diet of like just positivity, not just what you're eating, but what you're exposing yourself to, and like even the shows you watch or the things you read. I've listened to manifestation meditations a lot too, like when I'm going to sleep or whatever, where they just talk about
it's good for you,
like good, just loving yourself and like just good things happening. Right.
Even like opening yourself up. If you're somebody that doesn't believe good things can happen, they're not going to happen. No, you almost have to open yourself up to like, oh no, I can be a person that has good things happen to me, and I can, I deserve those things to happen. Because like sometimes you don't think that. Like it depends, and you're like, oh, I'll never get this. I'll never be good at this. I'll
Yeah.
never. You keep saying that you never will.
No. Yeah.
So what kind of stuff do you usually write about? Are they sad songs, love songs, happy songs, a range of different things, kind of?
I think so I haven't written a song in probably 4 years, 3 or 4 years.
Right.
And I wrote a lullaby for my son. It was really sweet.
That's
I almost brought
adorable.
my guitar. I was like, that might be cool. But then I was like,
Next
oh,
time you
what if
come
I
on,
suck? What if I suck this
no.
morning?
I thought about that too. I was like, maybe we should do a duet or something.
Oh, that
It's
would be
like-
cool.
I'm like, remember that song like "Picture" by Kid Rock?
Oh yeah, I could totally do that.
I was like, I think we could have nailed that
we
song.
could kill that.
You know what's funny? Like people hate Kid Rock so much. I'm like, God, that song was fucking
It's
good.
a good ass
That's
song.
a
I
good
still
song.
like that song.
Him and Sheryl Crow, like
That Kid Rock guy though. Him
He
and
is
like Flava Flav. Where do
wild.
they come from?
I don't know,
These
dude.
people and
I
they're
was
filthy
kind of
rich.
like, it's kind of wild though. I'm like, I was like joking with my friends. I'm like, is Kid Rock like the last true like rebel though? Because like he's like the only one who's like basically still saying fuck you to everything.
Yeah.
And like it is weird. Like whether you agree with him or not, I'm not saying I even agree with what he's saying, but like
He doesn't care.
he's literally like saying fuck you to the establishment, and it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, that's kind of what rock is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And when you got most rock people now kind of more like selling out to
PC.
corporate interests and PC, and
Yeah.
they're telling you to believe everything the government says and all that. I'm like, so who's the real
Get
rock star?
vaccinated to come to
Yeah,
our
that's
show.
what I'm saying. Like,
no
oh,
offense,
it's like,
I am vaccinated.
Me too.
I
I-
think that's totally cool. Whatever you guys.
that's
if
up to
anybody
you.
wants
I am
do. Yeah.
vaccinated also,
But I thought it got a little weird when you're like,
oh, it got way weird.
whoa, like hold on, how come this is so mandatory when like it's not mandatory?
It's not, and never should.
And also like it's not even studied. It hasn't. We haven't.
I
had
agree.
It going on.
That was
So,
the wildest thing we've ever lived through. It changed a lot of my opinions about
crazy.
everything. I don't like to get too political, but yeah, that shit was
Right.
wild.
Yeah,
And
let's
I
not
did
get
not
political.
agree with the mandatory anything. Like
It's a little crazy.
it was out of control. So like yeah, so like I was thinking that like because my buddy was joking about how like Kid Rock like his songs are like ridiculous now. Like they're like fuck you Joe
Oh my
Biden
God,
and
I'm
all
gonna
this
have
stuff.
to listen
And, like,
to some of this on the way.
but it's
out.
like whether you agree with him or not, I'm like okay, but that is what
He's
rock is
speaking
supposed to
his
be,
truth.
right? Like
He's
yeah.
speaking his truth. He's going up against the
Right.
system. Yeah.
If you're a rock star and you hate Trump and you write a song like "Fuck you, Trump," that's rock and roll.
Yeah.
If you're a rock star and you hate Joe Biden and you write a song that says "Fuck you, Joe Biden," that's also rock
Yeah.
and roll. Like
Just
it's people,
saying
saying what
"Fuck
they
you."
believe and saying "Fuck you" to the establishment.
yeah.
So I'm like, I can't totally hate on Kid Rock. Like say
Yeah.
what you will about the dude, but
And that song's good.
that song, Sheryl Crow, I mean,
Killed it.
that was a good song.
Those guys are
Some
funny.
of the way that they blended together in that duet, and it was kind of like a throwback to almost like the old school country duets
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yeah, those were
Remember?
good.
So like yeah, it kind of reminded you of like older stuff like Johnny Cash or like
Well, even that, yeah, like the old, I had horses, and so but we would board them at barns, because we didn't have space or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and they would always play 94.1 KMPS.
yeah.
Did you grow up here?
No.
Oh, okay. So
We had
that's like
country
the local
stations, too,
country
but-
station, but it was like all the like strawberry wine.
Yeah, Strawberry Wine
17.
17.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know what?
All
That
those.
song is a great song,
Yeah,
though.
it's
Because
so
like how
good.
certain songs make you feel like that. Literally makes you feel like it's like
Nostalgia.
prom or some shit, like
Yeah.
from back when you're like, it's like so weird, like. But yeah, so
I love that about music though, because it is like
great songs
transmuting
make
a
you
feeling.
yeah, great songs make
That's
you
what-
feel stuff.
That's what good music is. That's how I.
And so like if you're listening to Chris Cornell and he's singing Pretty Noose, like makes me feel something
Mm-hmm.
and it's fucked up, or he's talking about a lot of fucked up inner shit that he's battling, and it makes me feel. But also like a happy song like Strawberry Wine is like what this girl's like talking about losing her virginity and like like first taste of freedom, like that's just as real,
Yeah.
like because I used to be really much more closed-minded about music. Like if it wasn't like fucking
the style you
If
like
it wasn't
or
like
whatever.
rock and roll, like Tool or Metallica or
I
like
think that's just being young and trying to figure out who you are and having to like choose your identity, you
right. I'm
know?
like, I like the hard
I
shit.
want
I'm
to
not
make sure everybody knows I'm not
yeah,
into
like
that
it's gotta be
pussy
the
shit.
classy shit. Like it's like real yeah, that pussy shit.
Yeah.
I still have friends that are like that now, where it's like I'll like post something listening to like Jack Harlow or something that I'm into now, and they're like, "What the fuck, this pussy shit?" I'm like, "Bro, it's like
It's
where
good
my head is
music.
right now, and it's good
Yeah.
music. I don't care. Like Post Malone is great right now. Like I
Yeah.
like a lot of new stuff that for me, my head feels more in that space right now than it does like I want to kill myself. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's good.
so it's
Super
like
good.
I don't know. Like you said, when you're younger, you get more of that angsty shit. All right, everybody, it is time to take a short break for our sponsors. The Nicky Free podcast is now brought to you by Manscaped. They are the best in men's below the waist grooming. Their products are precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. So join over 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. So it is 20% off and free shipping worldwide with the code NickyFit at manscaped.com. So the thing about it is like when you're trying to shave your balls, you got like a date or something, you don't know where things are going to go, but you don't want to be like showing up all messy down there. You want to show up all clean. You want to be looking good down there. You know what I'm saying? So like we've all done that. You get a shaver out, you go to shave yourself, and what happens every time? You cut your balls, man. And it's no good when you cut your balls. You start bleeding all over your ball sack. You got blood going everywhere. You get it cleaned up. You go on the date, and like obviously, you're a high performance male, so like things are going good for you in the date. Stuff starts going well, and next thing you know, like one thing leads to another. But then the thing is, you whip it out, and like there's a big thing, like your balls are all cut up, and it's like all sore down there, and it's like such a turn off. So it's like you don't want that to happen to you. Like you don't want a big open wound on your ball sack when you're out on a date. Like that's just no way to be. So check out the Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and it is a game changer. So inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which is right here. And look at these things, man. Manscaped's products are so aesthetically pleasing looking. Like the design on it, it looks like something that Batman would use. It's like so sleek. It's all black. It's just like aesthetically pleasing to look at. They've done such a good job. So this is the Lawnmower 4.0. The other thing that comes in the performance package is the Weed Whacker, nose hair and ear trimmer, because it's like, I see this all the time. You're talking to somebody and it's like they take care of themselves, they eat healthy, they work out, they're trying to look good and everything, but then it's like you look at their nose and it's a bunch of nose hair sticking out. Bro, take care of that. Like, why do you want to do that? Use the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer because, like, clean that shit up, dude. Nobody wants to see that, man. Inside the package, you're also going to find the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant because you want your balls to smell good, the Crop Reviver Toner, and then also the Boxer Briefs that come with. And I'm probably going to take some scantily clad photos in these because, if you've seen my Instagram, the leaner I get, the more like scantily clad photos and videos I take. So I'm going to be rocking these Manscaped things, showing off the abs, trying to look sexy online. I'll be taking some videos in these. It also comes with the travel bag so you can carry it all with you so that when you're on the go, you got to be looking good when you're on the go. So let's talk a little bit about the Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is the future of grooming and, dare I say, the greatest ball hair trimmer ever. It's a 4th generation trimmer. It features cutting edge ceramic blades to reduce grooming accidents thanks to the advanced skin safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof. It also has an LED spotlight, so when you're down there doing it, man, like you can see all the nooks and crannies. It got the spotlight on it, so you're not missing any spots or anything. Because it's waterproof, you can say goodbye to the mess on the bathroom floor. You can do it in the shower. You can. So guys, it's time to take care of yourself. All right, look at this. Look at this product. It's awesome. Thank you, Manscaped. This stuff is so great. You know, they also threw in this beard hedger, which is just a great beard trimmer. We'll talk about that another time. But this is the performance package. So yeah, you know, guys, go online, go to manscaped.com. If you want 20% off, use code NickyFit. You will get 20% off and free shipping worldwide. So check out the performance package. It's awesome. And thank you guys so much. Use code NickyFit. Save 20%. You're really helping out the podcast. And I want to say that I was already using Manscaped before they started sponsoring the podcast. I think they're a great product. So thank you guys for picking this stuff up. Use code NickyFit. Save 20% and free shipping. You're really helping me out. You're helping out the podcast. And thank you to Manscaped. And thank you guys. Go out there. Let's get cleaned up. Let's not go out there all messy and stuff. We got to look good. All right, guys. Thank you. I guess I still feel pretty angsty, though.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Like, I want to fucking take over the world and shit.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good...
You know what I mean? You got to hold on to some of that. You got to hold on to some of that, you know? That ambition.
Don't lose it all, yeah.
No. Well, I love the age we're at, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. I was like, 38?
It doesn't even feel old anymore,
Great year.
for starters.
I love my 38-year-old life. This year was good.
It's almost like you get better at life.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like getting it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like you have starting to figure it out. Do this. You're successful. You're doing. So, are you pretty excited to be playing music?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes, yeah. I've done it for so long, like. Because I started playing cello when I was 11, and then I played it like I toured Europe with the Seattle Youth Symphony, and I like played at Benaria Hall a couple times. Like? It was trippy because I was also a teenager, so I really was like.
So you're part of the group. It feels kind of like.
And I feel like when you're young, I feel like the older you get and the more experience you have, the more you can see around you, right? Because you've learned more about yourself, and you're able to start taking out in layers of the world around you. So, like, when I was 15 in Europe, I didn't notice anything outside of this small area, and now I'd be there looking around, like, trying to really research places and seeing the art. Like, yeah, so I just was fucking off the whole time. But, I mean, I played music. That was fun.
I get that totally, because, like, there were times when I went places for wrestling where then people would be like, what was that like? And I'm like, I mean, I was so focused on the task I was doing. I didn't know. I was in Florida, but I wasn't like,
exploring
it wasn't
Florida.
Like I got to go out and like see Florida. I was there for one specific thing.
Right.
I was in wrestling rings. I was, in the hotel. And then I was,
Probably
so it's like,
tired too.
yeah, you're getting your ass kicked all day in these wrestling rings, and then you go back, you eat, you go to the hotel, then you do it again. I mean, there's not like, hey, go out and have Florida and have fun. It's like, no, I mean, but yeah, like now you would maybe have, like you said, you grow this like bigger
make the most of it,
understanding of the outside world and like,
yeah. So I love playing music so much. And every time that I play a gig, I feel like super duper blessed that I get to just do something that's so easy for me to do and enjoy and like make some money doing it, and and it makes people happy, and it's
you feel that really exchange with the crowd.
It's so cool because I'm like, wow, okay,
like it's like a mutual
this
exchange.
Makes me happy too.
Yeah,
that's so awesome that you guys like it, because
it doesn't even feel like work because you're like you're getting just as much back from them.
And being the musician, I do really well working for myself or as a sole proprietor. I was in a band one time. Too much drama for me.
Bands are tough.
Way too many relationships to have at once.
It's tough because when I was in the band, I wanted fucking complete control. Like, I'm like, this is what I do. This is what I'm good at. And then they started coming in with their ideas. I'm like, what? You guys have ideas?
And then it's with music.
And then we had to compromise, which was a good lesson for me.
Yeah.
Letting other people's opinions, letting other people edit the stuff I wrote. They call it like killing your babies because like the songs are like your babies and you have to let somebody else come in and like tamper with it. And so for me, it was a good experience because I got to learn how to compromise with other musicians. But at the same time, I get exactly what you mean. Like, it's a lot of work. I
can compromise. I don't know.
But it's easier if you're an artist and you have a vision of what you want to do and you can just do your vision.
I just do simple, easy. I'm like, it's just me and my amp that plugs my guitar and
Yeah.
my mic into the same amp.
And then you go do
Boom.
that, and you're doing
I'm
that,
just chilling,
and
singing whatever I
you're
feel
doing that in
like.
front of a bunch of people drinking wine.
Yeah, they're
so
just
it's
having
like,
pizza, drinking wine, and usually there's friends of mine show up and I'll have some wine too. And like, I think with the music for me, like I've never written a song. Well, no, I've never written a song with anyone. I feel like it's like a really intimate
oh yeah, you gotta
spiritual
trust
thing.
each other.
Yeah, and I've never really shared that like intimacy musically with anyone. So I'm like, I'll play by myself, and this is my little thing that I do. But
No,
I
I
don't
get
know
that.
if
That was
I
a
would.
cool thing with my band. We never made fun of each other. We never, when someone came with something, we were all really open to it. It was a
Yeah,
good experience. Like, so I know what you mean. Like, I think that's what you have to do is you have to just be like,
you have to be
and
vulnerable in
respect
that way
everybody.
and respectful, of
Yeah,
course.
vulnerable
Yeah,
for sure.
but I feel like it's just a. I don't know. It's like
It's
I've
tough.
got like stage fright or something when it comes to just that connection. So I just do it by myself, and it's so fun and
Yeah,
chill, and you know.
that's the way to do it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like what style is it? A lot of country? Is it more like sort of
It's
folk
like
type
pretty
stuff?
music, like
Like
soul,
Jewel?
country. I love Jewel. I cover like hip hop songs, country songs, rock songs,
A little bit of everything.
ballads. Yeah, whatever.
I love
Yeah.
I'm a softie for ballads.
Yeah.
Especially like Aerosmith ballads from the 90s.
Oh,
I love that shit.
that's good.
I don't know why I do.
He's
I
good.
even Bon Jovi. There's a couple Bon Jovi ballads where I'm like, if it comes on, I'm like, I'm cranking it. It's like that song, like Bed of Roses, like
Oh yeah, that's a
like
good
on
one.
a bed of roses.
Bon Jovi, man. Oh yeah, that guy.
That dude can sing.
He's wild.
I mean, I don't know if he still can, but man, he could.
Yeah, tearing it
How
up.
are your chops right now? Like, you feel pretty?
Uh,
Or you think you're like? Because
you know,
I feel like as a singer, you get better and better
yeah,
as you age.
it's so interesting because, well, and when I was younger, I smoked cigarettes.
Yeah,
You know,
of course you did.
so I mean,
Wildlife, bar life.
yeah, I know. It was like things that I actually enjoyed. Was one thing was like sitting outside smoking cigarettes. That's so gross.
It's so weird how many people I know like that come on here because we're also into this health and fitness stuff, and how many of us came from like wild
Oh yeah,
backgrounds. It's
I've
not
done.
like
I think there's a lot of people, like I'm I guess like I used to do drugs, bad
Yeah,
drugs, and
yeah.
I don't anymore. You know, and I used to do all these unhealthy things. I don't do it.
that's what I mean. I feel like people think that like all these bodybuilders and fitness people are like so
So
straight laced
pristine
and
and
boring. And
straight
why don't you
edge.
put? Yeah, because we fucking
Like,
all
dude,
did
I've
that
been
shit.
to jail plenty.
We
of
all
times.
did that
I'm not
shit,
going
and we're
back.
trying to fucking be healthy. We know what unhealthy is. We've done it. you
Yeah,
know,
and I
like-
think especially when, you know, you're like, well, love yourself. You find that, oh, I love myself, and now I have to make up for all that
all of a sudden
shit
it becomes
I did and take
really
better care of
important.
myself.
Yeah, it
back.
becomes really important to take care of yourself
Yeah,
because
so
you
you
do
can
love
live.
yourself,
Yeah.
and then you like forgive yourself for the shit you did.
Well, and I mean, also like maybe you needed that, you know. So it's like you had to.
It definitely makes us more interesting.
Yeah.
Imagine if you like just were like boring the
You
whole
didn't
time.
know about
Like, you
any
didn't
of these-
party and shit.
Yeah.
You
You'd
wouldn't
probably
be.
always be like wondering.
Yeah, at least you kind of got it
You'd
out of your
probably always.
system.
Now I'm like, it's
The
okay.
healthiest people I know,
don't
it's
need
because
that.
they got it out of their system and they did some wild shit.
Yeah, you got to do it.
That's like all the people we know. I swear
Yeah.
to God, most of them. Like,
There's a ton of people that I feel like. Yeah, I think bodybuilding is a much better addiction than so many others, right? And it's such a like
we find a healthy addiction.
I like to drink sometimes, right? But it's like it just doesn't work well with my diet and my
No.
workouts. So
if
like
you want to feel good,
I'll
you're not
have a
gonna-
little bit sometimes, but most of the time, like since I stopped with the nursing school thing and got back in shape, now I'm like, if I have too much to drink, I am
you know it'll throw all your goals
fucking
off. Yeah,
done. So
I know because I end up getting, probably where people think I'm super anti-drink. I even posted that thing like you liked it the other day and stuff. It's more about the weird, like how we view drinking in society as so normal and okay when actually it's one of
Yeah.
the worst, most like corrosive drugs.
Oh
I mean,
my
horrible
God,
thing
life
for you.
is so much more chaotic when you have that
Yeah.
every single day, and it's
Right, and
just
just
crazy.
with the effects of on your body,
Oh,
like,
it's so
but we view
toxic.
it like I said. We were talking with Sonia, like, if you went to your boss and you're like, "Oh man, I'm so tired today because I was up shooting heroin all night last night," your boss would be like, "What did you just fucking
You'd probably
say?"
be doing a lot better
But
than
if
if
you
you were hungover.
But that's what I'm saying. If you went to your boss and you were like, "Oh, I got so wasted last night, I'm hungry," your boss would be like, "Yeah, bro, sweet, that's good." Like, we don't think of alcohol as what it really is, which is a very bad drug.
Yeah, and it kills people.
Yeah, and we're just like, "Oh, it's great, haha. Oh, you drank? Oh, that's good for you, dude. Drinking's
It's
cool."
a weird thing,
It's like it's actually not cool.
going out and stuff too, because it's like I went out with Jamie and Laura from
Yeah.
Big. We went out. It's like we're all pretty
Well,
healthy.
drinking's
we all
cool when
work
we do
out.
it.
Right,
Yeah,
obviously. But
totally.
like we might try to have,
Yeah.
but it's like we're just like we don't really enjoy drinking that much.
Yeah.
You know, so
But
next
but
time
you
let's
still
go to like
can.
a fancy restaurant and get really good food. You know,
Right, I'm like, if I'm
'Cause
gonna
it's just
drink, I
not
want.
as enjoyable, or like a really good fancy drink, like a craft
That's what I'm
cocktail
saying.
with like some
Now that makes it a little
elderberry
more
syrup
worth it.
in
Like, if
or
you're gonna
something.
do it classy, right? And like, be responsible. Don't become
Get something
belligerent. Don't become a problem for somebody else because now somebody else has to take care of you. It's like,
good. Oh God.
if you can do it responsibly and you know what you're doing and you understand that it's not a cool, good thing that you're kind of like, because I like doing things that are bad for you sometimes. It can be fun, right? You
Balance.
got to balance. But it's like, it's just weird how our society views it as this like normal thing or how you deal with
It's totally
stress.
normalized. It's
But it causes more stress. They don't even realize, like, that's the science of it. It doesn't relieve stress. It actually makes your ability to handle stress less.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, so I harp on it on here a little bit, you know, and I even have like my liquor here because I do like whiskey, but it's like, I just wish our society had a more realistic view of what it really was.
a more responsible too.
Yeah.
Like
you know how many people I know that just drive drunk every day?
oh God, that's so stressful.
And it's like, are you fucking serious? And then
you're gonna.
the weirdest thing about it is then they will be like up on a moral soapbox about certain political things
You're like,
or other
"You're
stuff. And
gonna-"
it's like, you're getting in your vehicle about to go drive drunk and you do it every day and you're preaching about political stuff, how you're better than people
Yeah,
because
I
of your
hope
political
you don't kill
views.
some family on the way home.
Right, like, yeah,
Jeez.
maybe fucking humble yourself a little bit. You know? That shit gets me.
That's also like drinking too, because you know nobody gets cooler the more they drink. Okay.
Well, you think you're cool.
Have you ever seen anybody like go from a 0 to a 10 after
Oh,
like
yeah.
a few drinks?
Well, I think that can be the fun part about it, right? It's a social
You feel
lubricant.
good, it's fun, but I mean, people act like idiots,
They
right?
do act
'Cause
like
that's
idiots.
what happens.
People
So
get in
that's what's
fights.
happening from the
They'll
outside.
not be able to handle rejection. Like,
Oh yeah.
but then on the positive side, like, think about, like, you go play music and people are drinking wine and you have some wine and it's this
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
It loosens everybody up.
Just
So there is that
relaxing.
positive side of it too, right?
The
We can't say it's
adult
all
version.
bad.
No,
Yeah.
it's not all bad.
I just like, yeah, just the way we view it is weird, you know. So
That's interesting.
yeah, like we
Sure.
don't have the same view of, like, if we're like, hey, let's do some mushrooms. Some people might still look at us like, you know, most people around here would
You
be
know
like,
what's
that's
funny?
cool.
So many bodybuilders do mushrooms though because
I
they
know.
don't fuck with their diet.
I'm
So
a-
they can't drink.
Yeah,
They
they
can't.
need something.
And smoking weed makes them get the munchies.
Right, but
so
mushrooms
they
ain't
can
gonna
eat
do that.
mushrooms. And so I've heard.
I'm gonna have a guy on here
Some
who
really
does
funny ones.
who has a business where they with psilocybin mushrooms and stuff. That's gonna be a
oh
cool.
my gosh!
It's gonna be next
cool.
month at some point.
That's awesome.
But cool business. I think they put the mushrooms in chocolates and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
I was gonna get some mushroom chocolate soon. I wonder.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I mean,
Let me
they
know.
don't sell them.
Oh right.
It's
Give it
yeah,
out?
yeah. But no, we'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll get you that. That's gonna be a sweet episode. I don't know.
Fun. You guys should try one.
I think we're gonna
And
do
then
one
the
on
episode.
air.
Yes.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I've done mushrooms
So
on here
fun.
one other time because I have, like you said, power lifters, bodybuilders. They like that stuff,
Yeah.
and they're kind of fun. They relax
They're
you a little
chill.
bit.
They're chill.
I'm looking forward to like what's gonna happen in the future with that stuff.
Yeah, mushrooms are amazing. There's so many health benefits. Like there's so many supplements that are not hallucinogenic mushrooms that help like prevent cancer or different
Yeah.
viruses or it's
Isn't that crazy?
impressive.
What do you think the future is gonna be like 10 years from now? You think we're all gonna be like they'll like solve aging. We'll all be able to look like 25 for the rest of our lives, and like there's gonna be machines everywhere. Like you go
What's
to
gonna be weird is when we have figured that out and there's still like the older generations that are beyond help, and they're gonna be the ones that look really really old, and then all these other people will look
like
25 forever.
like people our age will just look 25 forever because they've like figured out how to solve aging basically, and
yeah.
yeah, and then there'll be people that hold up.
Biomechanics, like, oh, I'll just replace parts of my body.
Well, that could definitely happen.
That's
right?
trippy, thinking about that. Like getting a heart.
Think how cool that is. You have lung cancer, you lose a lung. Now they can just regrow you a lung.
Just put a
and
lung
you're
in
good.
there.
Yeah. Or like you lose a limb. Imagine that. Like you lose a limb and they can like replace your limb.
That's wild.
So I don't know. I feel like the future is going to be...
Yeah, it's going to get crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any major plans for the future? Like just basically keep going with the business? And...
I've been a sole proprietor, and I just got a business license. So I'm just starting that adventure with massage. Like,
so the business is growing right now.
It's so busy, and I have ideas and things that I want to do to add to it. I really like working solo. So I'm trying to figure out, I have all these ideas. Like, I think I kind of want to maybe get a sauna to have available, like a little infrared sauna that people could use
before
or after. I'm trying to figure it all out. But I have
so
all these
build more
ideas.
into the business. Yeah, like
and
more into therapy.
Get some new tools. I was going to say we should have scheduled you a session before this so that you could talk about your experience. Because
like my back right now, I know I could it would feel so good.
I can already see looking at you. Like I had someone come in. It's to the point now where I can see.
You can see all the imbalances
on somebody's body and where they're holding it. Like,
yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
I always think it's weird. We have so many like muscular imbalances, and after a while, you just kind of like learn to, like, I'm not in any like kind of severe pain or anything.
You're just used to it.
I'm just used to like all the wear and tear on my body from lifting.
Your body gets used to that, and then you get a treatment from somebody like me, and then you're like, "Oh my god, I'm a disaster."
Feels so good, yeah.
And then you come back a few more times, and then you get in like massage shape. And then you know what it feels like to really not be in like...
As soon as I blow up on this podcast, I'll be like regularly just getting massages.
Well, you should come and get at least one just so that we can...
Oh, I'll definitely set up one. I'm like, when that Manscaped money starts coming in, just wait.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody...
I don't know how that's doing.
Anybody that hasn't done the Manscaped thing yet, it's like the last couple days of it before the first month. I'm trying to have a good month, so use code NickyFit at manscaped.com.
Trim your shit, you guys.
Yeah,
no more of this Movember crap.
No, like we like people cleaned up, right?
Yeah, we like it nice and clean.
Especially like think about dudes who like put all this energy into looking good, and then you like see them and they have a big ugly nose hair sticking out.
Oh god.
Like just shave
it off real quick.
Yeah, it doesn't even take long.
You look so good, and then that.
Then you got like old man hair coming out of your ears and nose, and it's like, bro, you work out so hard to look like you're still like 25, but you got these old man hairs coming out of your nose.
Yeah.
Just zip it out of there quick.
The details.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so that's the other. Yeah, so you've never had to do that other side biz either because you've been successful. You haven't had to go to the
Right. The OnlyFans thing.
OnlyFans, prostitution.
Can't do it. I just...
it's not...
Not for everybody.
I'm not going to judge it.
Totally.
Same with, people like you said.
I was talking to my friend on the way here. I was like, what's crazy about it is really you only need, 20 people to pay $20 a month. You're making $2,000.
Yeah. That ain't shit.
So when you think about that... So wait.
Oh, right. If
you get 40 people giving me $20 a month, that's $4,000.
Well, and there's certain people that have thousands of people. So
they're making a lot of fucking money.
I would not quit doing it at that point. I don't care how morally superior you think you are. Like, if you got that kind of money...
It's just such a flow, right?
Yeah.
It's just going to keep coming. Because people are just... They want to watch you,
So that's the problem. It's like society...
I was thinking about...
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing one that was not... really OnlyFans, but just me massaging regular.
Well, you can basically put anything on there.
Too.
You can put anything on there. You don't have to be nude. You don't have to be doing anything sexual.
Yeah.
It's just you could be like, I bake cookies.
No, I've seen a really overweight lady that does weird dancing, and she has a very skinny husband, and people just can't get enough of them.
Oh my god!
And by the way, they're filthy rich.
Yeah. It's so wild.
Yeah.
The ways people can make money in this modern system, like there's
And
like
then you have people that can't. They cannot figure it out.
right, and there's so many ways to make money now. You got to
It's
be able
nuts.
to figure it out. But well, that's how you end up being a real prostitute on the street,
Ow.
or
Yeah.
one of these people we're talking about.
Sad.
It's like we always think we're only a few bad choices away from those people on the street. That's
Yeah.
why I try, like you said, you're not trying to put them down or say
No.
like you're anti. Like obviously we need to do something about it, but you realize like any of us could end up there.
Right.
So you got to have some
and there
compassion.
are people that come from there and end up, you know.
Anybody that comes from there and can get their life together, now that is an impressive story. Because I think that's really hard at that point.
There's a prison in Rhode Island that I watched a documentary on, and what they were doing is it's a much smaller community of addicts, but like what they did with all of their people that were like that on the streets and criminals that are basically just drug addicts that are living on the streets, they forced them into a recovery program. So they had to choose like medication. They had to choose like to take medication.
Like
to do
you're getting
therapy,
these
to do
benefits,
these-
but not without this therapy.
they had to do. Well, they're going to prison, but that's what the
Right.
prison was like they turned it into a rehab and a recovery center, and then they had people that they interviewed that they're like, I've been clean now for years. I have a relationship with my family, like things that they never would have had, and I'm like, man, that probably costs a lot of money and time, but.
Yeah, but so imagine if
that would
all
be
these
so
politicians that steal all of our money
Yeah, we have a huge
and then do
problem
ridiculous
here.
things with it that we don't even agree to, and then get themselves completely rich. They all buy and sell
buy an
stocks
island
online.
and start selling people.
They're all insider
are they
trading.
doing?
They're all, the businesses the businesses they're regulating are the ones that they have stocks in. It's like, so they're taking all our money and doing all this terrible shit with it. Imagine if we started investing that money in programs like that.
Yeah.
Or things that actually helped the population
That's
of people.
what they need. They need to be forced to clean.
Yeah. Well, right. And
then
so
help
these
through
politicians are
recovery.
people that are supposed to be representing us, the people of the United States who elect them. And the only thing they do is they get rich off of our money and send our money overseas. And it's like, what if they actually did those kind of things? What if they helped clean up inner cities? What if they helped people with drug addictions? What if they started investing it back in the actual people like they should be? Then, you know what?
Like,
then we would not get pissed when they're like, well, you have to pay this much in taxes. It's like, I'd be happy to pay taxes
look
if
at
you
our beautiful
fucking do
city.
something with them. It's other than just get yourself rich and
Yeah.
fucking do what big corporations want you to.
I was in Seattle. I took my mom to Teatro Zanzani for her birthday, like last Wednesday.
Right.
So it was right now. That's like a circus dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing if you haven't ever been.
So there's a circus
It's a circus
while you're eating.
and you get served dinner.
That
And
sounds
even
pretty
the
dope.
people that serve you are like
Dressed up in
the
character.
circus. They're like a part of the. But yeah, there's trapeze. There's like it's amazing what these humans are capable of, right?
Right. Sounds awesome.
It's like a legit circus. And anyways, it was on First Avenue in Soto, and I parked like in a really stupid spot, like kind of in an alley next to a giant truck with a bunch of spray paint on it. And I was like, no big deal, this is perfect. And my mom and I walked to the venue, and then yes, lo and behold, at the end my window was like broken and my son's school backpack was gone, and I was more mad about his backpack, honestly, than the window, because I'm like, you motherfucker.
Well,
like,
that's
I have
his
to
stuff.
get his shit together again. Like, and he's like,
There's something creepy about something that's yours and then it's
I
just
hate that.
gone. And they're probably not going to do anything other than
That's
look through it for
Seattle,
anything valuable and then throw it away.
Yeah,
And to
we
him,
went-
maybe that was everything. Like, oh, I love this. This is my bag. This is my stuff.
Well, he's fine, but it's just annoying because like I have to be like, sorry, he lost his laptop.
It's a
and
creepy
his
feeling
book
though,
and
like
his-
when somebody takes your
it's gross
stuff.
that they
It's a
touch
gross
your
feeling.
stuff
Yeah.
At all. And who was that person? Ew.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then on the way home, we're driving through Seattle still, and I'm pretty sure I saw a dead body halfway on the sidewalk, and we were pretty pissed at that point. The window was down. It was not nice out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the window was broken, and I was like, I'm not pulling over. Okay? I don't know what this guy's doing over here. He's either sleeping or dead, but somewhere under the freeway.
Yeah, that's
Anyway.
rough. And that's just part of living in these big
I know.
cities.
I was like, oh my God.
The most amount of money in the world, these people have it here alongside of the. It's weird. Like, when you're in the Midwest, it's different because it's like not that many people have a lot of money, but not that many people are that broke either. Cities are weird because you have the people with the absolute most amount of money possible living right alongside the people with absolutely zero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is a kind of weird thing about cities.
Yeah.
And then that's why I think it's weird when like rich people start acting morally superior because of all this weird political
Yeah,
shit.
because it's like, what do you
It's
do?
like, bitch, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
what are you
it's what you
doing?
just feel guilty because you're so rich that you have to like now start making everybody's life miserable to like.
Make
It's a weird,
excuses,
yeah.
point
It's just
fingers.
so cringy.
I know. I felt kind of bad. We drove by this person, but I was like, it's
Oh
like
yeah.
underneath the freeway. I have my mom. It was sketchy as hell.
Well, and
But
also
I
you
was like,
don't know
that's
what
Seattle.
situation could have happened if
I don't
you
know
stopped.
if he was dead or if there was. I was just like, oh my god, get me out of this city. This is not a.
Yeah, that's part of living in the city can be weird.
Yeah, so Uber if you do go anywhere.
Yeah,
in
I like to
Soda
take Uber into the city. It's
with
fun.
some like pepper spray.
Because Seattle does have some cool, like going out to eat there, like you said, like having fun. Like if you go out, like you said, you and Jamie and Laura were like to go to like restaurants. Like there's some dope
Nice
ones.
places. Yeah, Capitol Hill's actually a pretty fun area to like go out to. So many interesting bars and restaurants to check out.
Right. It's just different if you're alone. Like if you're with somebody that's like, even being with like Jamie, he's a big guy. You're probably like, I feel
love
better.
going out with Jamie because Laura and I can do whatever we want. Nobody.
Where if you're by
nobody will
yourselves,
mess
you might
with
be a
us.
little more like, okay, I need to make sure I got my pepper spray here. I need to make sure this is here.
Yeah.
Like,
Because you don't know.
yeah.
But
It's
it's a weird world.
Do you like living in this area? You grew up here.
I grew up in the neighborhood I live in the house I'm in, actually. So
Yeah. You've seen a lot of change over the years.
Yeah, but not in that neighborhood. It's the same. It's Briar. It's like a little suburbia cul-de-sac.
So you're probably pretty happy with where you are.
I
especially
love it.
raising
It's so
a son.
safe
Like,
and clean, and you don't ever see anybody walk through there that's questionable. There's one guy that must live in the neighborhood that walks around barefoot all the time, but yeah, I'm like, we saw it the first time.
He's got something weird going on
yeah,
there.
the first time we walked by the bus stop, all the moms are like, I'm like,
is
I
this
think he's
dude?
like in the neighborhood because he's always walking around like that, but
Right.
it's really nice. I'm really blessed to live there. Yeah, especially for my son.
Well, if it's just you, it's one thing. If you got a kid, it's like you got to be.
I don't want him around that. There's like condoms and needles everywhere in our old neighborhood. So gross.
Oh yeah, you'll see that sometimes walking down the street, just some weird shit like that on the. So what's the hardest part about being an entrepreneur, like in business for yourself? Does it get tough sometimes? Especially being like a mom as well.
I'm really, really busy all the time. So it's nuts, but I love it. I think people do what they want to do too. So like I wouldn't be this busy if I didn't really want to be busy.
Yeah.
I
You like staying
find
busy?
a way. Yeah, I like to be busy and make money.
Me
and I also
too.
like making people happy, and so and I hate disappointing people. And so,
A little bit of a people
really
pleaser.
need they're like, I gotta see you, I gotta get in as long as I get in, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I have to make sure because I can only fit like 20 25 people a week.
So it's tough. You gotta like move stuff around.
But
sometimes.
I love it. So I mean, I think the hardest part was just you have to trust yourself and the universe or God or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
You have to believe that it's going to work out. And like, at first that was hard because it was like, I don't know how much money I'm going to make. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm
like at least if you're a job where you're working for somebody
much.
else, you have an idea how much you have coming in.
Yeah, they're doing the work for you. They're getting the clients on your books for the most part or whatever, doing massage or like you're getting paid hourly. So I think that was the hardest part is just being like, oh, I can actually do this. Like I don't have to work for other people.
Trusting you can do it. Yeah.
I can do this, and it's just getting comfortable with like the ups and downs because my money used to be a lot tighter when I was working on a smaller client base in Seattle. That's why I started nursing school. I was like, I can't.
Scary.
I'm not making enough money really, and I didn't want to work in bars anymore after having DO because it's just.
It's a lot.
I also lost my patience for drunk people when I had a kid because I was like,
Something changed.
You know what? I already have to deal with a baby.
Yeah,
Okay?
I don't need
I'm
an
not gonna
adult
take
baby
care
telling
of
me
you.
this shit right now.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I think
Well, that's
I
what drunk
just,
people are like. They're like big babies.
they're like kids.
They're like kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that was just believing in that it would work out and just trusting that it's gonna be okay. Like it will work out one way or another. It will work out. Like
And it's kind of like trusting in yourself, right?
Yeah, you have to trust yourself.
I have the ability to make this work and do what needs to be done.
I really believe that you're creating your experience, you know, in a lot of ways. And so believing in it and like, you know, those positive thoughts, it makes things change. It makes life better. So
Right.
so when I felt like, oh, I'm never gonna, this is, you know, when I was feeling low about, I never had as much money. I never was doing as well. And then when you start believing in yourself and just actively, you know.
So it's about action and believing in your own capabilities, you think?
Just trust.
And so that's like when you were stuck in that spot where it was like, I can't make money, I can't do this. You almost had to have a mental switch before anything really started working out, huh?
Well, I was doing all the nursing school stuff, which made me feel like, well, whatever. If it is what it is, I'll do massage until I get done, and then I'll have
So
that
you were
solid
that worried
job.
that you wanted to get a solid job. That's what. But then like something happened where you're like,
I just moved.
no,
up
I can
here.
actually do this
I
without.
got all these people started coming because if I was going to body shop, and then so Jeff and Danielle started referring people, and then the trainers started referring their clients.
Building
like,
good relationships with people.
Help this guy open his lats, you know, or whatever. Like they'll tell their, hey, you need to get this worked on, and then other gym owners like Jamie, and then all of their people, and it just keeps going. And now I'm pretty much not taking new clients until after this Emerald Cup.
Right.
I try to get every single person.
Do you have a lot of people in the Emerald Cup that you're working on? Yeah.
Oh, yes,
crazy.
I'm so excited. I love the E Cup. I liked it before, but now it's even more fun because I feel like I'm like personally like invested.
You're
more
part of
I'm
it.
just like, oh, they look so good because I'm watching and hoping that, you know, because I help them change the aesthetic of their poses.
Physique,
That's my goals, anyways.
Wow,
it's
that
so
is pretty
fun.
cool.
It's super cool. I never thought of massage like in that way before. I worked on bodybuilders, but
Well, you found a really great niche to work in.
Oh my God. It's like the coolest people. So I feel really, really blessed. I feel like I have
That's
really
a lot of successful people that I talk to on here have that in common is they feel really blessed.
Yeah.
You know,
well, it's like, wow, this is so great. It's
You've
going
been able to
well.
find a way to like
be happy, do
live
something
life.
you love.
Yes, doing what you're meant to be doing. Like it's almost like you said, like the universe. Like it's
just
almost like
what
that
I was
nursing
supposed to
thing had
do.
to happen for you to find out this is what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah.
You know.
I was so close. I was like placing IVs and.
Right, and now when you look back at that, are you like, I'm so glad I'm not doing that?
My mom had like some stitches, and she's like, "Can you take these out for me?" And I was like.
You're like, God, I'm so glad.
I'm so glad I'm not doing this for a living.
It's wild because
like, ew.
Yeah, some people are meant to do that stuff. Like I had that dude on here that
they
was
it.
He's a plastic surgeon, and I'm thinking
I saw that.
I was like thinking of the stuff he's done. I'm like, and he seems like that he could be a plastic surgeon. He's so like, kind of just has that like vibe. Like he said the same thing as you did about like the weirdest thing about when I went into business for myself was realizing there is nobody else double checking. I am the person that, you know, like I'm the last stop. So like when he was in medical school, like when you're a surgeon and you do something, there's always people over you checking over what you're doing, making sure it's right, all the way up to, it's like, so that was the weirdest part. Like once I went in business for myself, I am the guy that's that. I have to make sure it's all on me.
Especially as a doctor.
But yeah, I'm thinking like I could go deer hunting and I could field clean a deer, cut it open, cut it up, send it to the locker, get meat back. But the idea of like
a
human beings and like they're alive and you
are
cutting into them and you're putting everything back, like I don't know how people do that, but they
and
do.
then just live their normal life.
And
Yeah.
he's a normal human being,
It's
just like you or
crazy.
me, but he knows how to do that.
Yeah, there were things about nursing that I loved. I think I got into it because I really I really feel compelled to help people. I think that I'm like naturally a healer, and so
Yes.
like I just feel like if I can, I should, like so the patients that I had during my clinicals, they loved me, for the most part. So it was like it was a good experience. I mean, I enjoyed certain parts of it, like helping people, being able to be there when people are in their worst situations.
Right.
But the problem is, it's not always, I mean, there's a lot of poop. There's a lot of gross things that you
Yeah.
have to do. And like a lot of the people in hospitals are, drug addicts,
Oh yeah, it's
diabetics
tough.
getting amputations. Like it's
It's
kind of it's
sad.
a downer, dude.
It's
And
sad.
I mean, I think it's such a noble thing, and I'm
It's so
so
noble because you have to
impressed
be
with
around
people
that
doing
energy
that.
all
But
day.
that's a lot for one person to take on, and I'm kind of like an empath too. So like seeing people die all the time or
So
like
all that
whatever.
energy would be just going into
You're
you,
seeing
like,
their families like go through it, and
right.
you can't just leave and pretend that didn't happen and just move. It's like God,
Well,
nobody's really meant to deal with so much trauma, right? All the trauma of all these other lives on top
God,
of
no
their
wonder,
own.
no wonder nurses like to drink.
Yeah, and the other thing about my experience with the clinicals was a lot of the nurses, they did not look like healthy or anything, unless
No.
they were like the nurses in their 20s that are travel nurses, making like 10 grand a week, and then they party and go to the gym every day too because they're like in their 20s, so they
Yeah,
can
they
do
got that
that,
wild
right?
lifestyle. Yeah, yeah.
Like that's actually, I could see that being a really killer job for me back in the day, but now I'm like, yeah, it's just so nice to be able to help people without the super gross stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you. That's
Yeah.
too much for me.
It's
Like,
just, yeah, I don't think I could handle
but
it.
that's why you got to say, like, give it up to all the people doing it.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
very noble.
you. Good job,
And then
you
all the
guys.
think about all the nurses, doctors during COVID, what they went through. Like,
Holy
yeah, it's
crap.
crazy.
Yeah.
So my sister is a nurse, and I think so. She ended up getting into the pediatric side. I think like
Oh, wow.
childbirth. So that's probably, I think similarly. Like I think she'd rather be around that because it's usually. I mean, it can be tragic or scary
Right.
too, but for the most part, it's a happy thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And
Like,
it's innocent kids. It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
some person that just didn't take care of
And
themselves
now you
and
have to cut their leg
ran
off,
around
or
probably breaking into people's cars or whatever, and now they're here with
and you got to
MRSA and
stitch them up,
COVID,
and
and you're like,
oof.
let me help you wipe your butt. Like, it's not the most fun, but
Right, it takes a special people to do that kind of job, right?
yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
that's
I think it was a really good experience though, because that's like pretty humbling to have to, and like
right.
to deal, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I think it's good to have good people doing that too, because these are people that are like,
Well, it's like people that are police
they're
officers
super
that are good at it.
vulnerable. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like there's certain jobs, or like firefighters, where it's like, some of the people are like for cops. Some of them might be complete jerks and whatever, but it's pretty crazy. We have people doing all those jobs that we don't want to
Yeah,
be doing.
right? Because those are hard
We should like
jobs.
have more respect for it.
Oh
Even like
my
stuff like
God.
blue collar jobs,
Yeah.
like people that keep the power on, people that are plumbers, people that fix houses. Like,
Yeah, all
there's a
that
weird thing where
stuff.
like it seems like these elite people look down on those kind of jobs, and it's like
Those are good jobs
they're
too. The
literally
garbage man
the
does
jobs.
good.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
the jobs that keep society running, and we should have like so much respect for those jobs.
Yeah,
That's just my opinion.
makes our lives a lot easier.
Right, right. It's like
Don't have to go to
anybody
the
that has the
job
job
every
that
day.
you don't want to be doing, you should be respecting them because like
Right.
somebody's
Thank
got to
you
do
for
that
doing
job.
that, because
Yeah, you're like, I'll just massage people.
yeah, and some people don't want to do that, so it works out.
Right, because that's got to be tough. I mean, there's got to be times when you're like super tired and you're like, man, I wish I didn't have to do this right now.
Most
Probably rarely though.
I
huh?
don't really let myself go there too much.
You got to keep yourself out of that.
Yeah, because I plan it, I do it, I do what I'm gonna do. I just have to take care of myself. Like,
that's
really what it comes
yeah.
down
So
to.
don't get yourself too fatigued.
Yeah, I can't.
That's why you
not
don't
sleep.
overbook.
I can't like, drink all night and then massage people. I can't. I just have to
Yeah.
take super good care of myself and plan breaks. Like I'm gonna be going to Rhode Island the end of this month with my son, so I will be taking like a
Little
probably
vacation.
7-day break, which is a lot for me. Like,
So
it's
what's
a
in
good-
Rhode Island? Just like
Oh, my family, my dad's side of the family. So we'll see my aunts and uncles.
that's sick. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad passed away a long time ago, and over here, it's just my mom and I, and my son. His dad's not, whatever.
Right.
So I think it will be good to go over there and
But then he gets to
you
meet
can see
that
all
side
this
of the
family,
family.
that he has a lot more family over there, and
Right.
plus it's just I love them, and it's really fun to go somewhere different. The energy is completely different in Rhode Island. It's way more chill than
Yeah,
Seattle
most of these
vibes.
other states are. Seattle's got a vibe
Oh,
for sure.
it's an intense vibe.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
It's like we must love it because we're here.
yeah. There's
You know,
something
everybody
about
that
it.
comes on here says shit like that though, and it's like even when they're born here, it's like
Yeah.
we love it, but there's definitely something
There's
weird
some
about
pressure.
it. Yeah.
There's like a pressure about it. Some atmospheric, energetic pressure. I don't know.
That's what's cool about the whole bodybuilding scene though is in what you do, you've made all these good connections and you have all these close friends because everybody talks about Seattle freeze and like it's hard to make friends.
Yeah.
We're lucky because we have this community that we don't really have to deal with that. Like
No,
we have
I love it.
people in this community where everybody's close and help each other
Really,
out.
really good community, and like, I
Yeah.
just love. I love that it's. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. It really is. It's like an amazing.
People inspire each other. They keep each other. You know, it's a good group of people to be around because they're not going to let you slip.
Yeah, and you see different, like there's younger people, and then they have their coach and their team, and it's like I've seen some of younger athletes, they don't really have like a family, so it's like it's really nice. They have some mentorship. They have like some
Right,
some
a healthy
people to
mentorship
stay connected
too, yeah.
with. Yeah, it's really cool. I am like more and more into this bodybuilding scene every day. Like
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the sport too. Like if I was going to watch a sport, it's either going to be bodybuilding or a rodeo. Those are like the only things I really want to watch.
Little rodeo.
Yeah. That's
Some
so fun.
what's that Luke Perry movie? Remember that shit?
What? No.
What was
Yeah,
that
I
where he
missed
played?
it.
He played that rodeo dude. I forgot. Damn it.
Well,
I
let me
don't
know.
know.
I'll
I
watch
just saw this meme. It was like the original guy died at 25, and then Luke Perry died at 52. They're reverse of each other, so they were like saying it's like some sign or some shit.
Crazy.
Because he played the dude in the movie. Now I gotta look it up really quick, just so.
Luke Perry.
Yeah. But that was if you liked rodeo, it was a cool movie.
Yeah, my friend's brother is actually like a badass rodeo rider.
That stuff is insane. The people that are in that. Oh, it was called 8 Seconds.
Oh, I have. Oh,
Remember that shit?
yep.
And
That's a
he
good
played
one.
Lane Frost. Lane Frost was like
I need
this
to watch that
famous
again.
rodeo dude. Yeah. But those rodeo guys, so I had a friend, Charlie, back in college, and we used to shoot bows. Like, it was me, him, and this other dude named Gino. Eugene, his name was, but we called him Gino. He didn't like Eugene, you know. But we would shoot bows all the time at targets and shit. But Charlie, like, he did some bull riding, and it was like, bro, how did you do that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I had a friend growing up, too. His name was Casey Sebastian, or is Casey Sebastian, and we used to follow him around, like me and my buddy Stevie. We'd go watch his like rodeos and shit, and we were so lame. Like we wore cowboy hats and shit. Like
That's fun.
I know, but
That's
we're like
not
all
lame.
dressed up. It's so poser though, you know. Like
You're like, yeah, we're gonna be cowboys.
yeah,
too
someday
with
we're
this."
gonna do this too, bro. Like I got my cowboy hat and my little, my wallet. And
Right.
It was like
I
belt-
wear
belt
cowboy
buckle.
boots to the rodeo, and I'm not ever gonna get up on one of those.
Right, that's a wild life.
Yeah, it's really cool though.
Those people now. Do you work on any of those dudes? Because I feel like they
No,
need a
they're
massage
probably
therapist.
wrecked as. Yeah.
Their body's got to be so beat up.
Damn. So much whiplash.
It's so
just
weird 'cause, like,
constant.
Yeah, and you can literally die from that.
I know, it's crazy.
That's the-
Watch
that's
it
the
and it's
difference, like,
damn.
Sure, like NASCAR or race car driving, you maybe could die.
You can't
Pro wrestling,
predict a wild animal.
it's tough. You maybe could
Wild.
die if you got paralyzed or dropped on your head wrong. Maybe, fighting. Yeah, you maybe could die. Football, possibly. But like the road, like the chances, like that's a fucking animal.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
animal.
So that's wild. Like get paralyzed, stepped on. So those dudes, that's fun to watch.
Yeah, super fun.
Like PBR shit.
Yes,
I used to watch
I
that on
love
TV.
PBR. I remember one year, oh my God, probably like 17 years ago, they did the PBR rodeo and they put Dukes of Hazzard, the original, on, like right afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd watch PBR and then Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, why not? That show
Every
was
day.
dope.
Yeah.
Waylon Jennings was like the
real
narrator.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Look
No.
like them Duke boys got themselves in a whole hell of a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to love that shit.
It's a good show.
That was remember they remade that movie,
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville and shit.
And Jessica Simpson, I
Jessica
think?
Simpson.
Yeah.
That was wild. Remember that video?
I don't
Damn.
think I even watched that. I should.
That was kind of a good flick back in the day. Now I'm sure you couldn't even. I bet if you watch it now, you'd be like, "This is not politically correct."
Oh yeah,
I bet it's like that's like everything
hilarious
from our
about
childhood.
yeah, we're like, whoa, you can't really say that now.
Like, you ever remember those movies like Scary Movie?
Oh yeah.
Like those parodies of like, I watch that now and it's like, I don't remember this being that bad. Like shit was wild when we were young.
Right. They
Yeah.
really got away with a lot, especially in the 80s.
Yeah, think of the shit we
Real
watched
out of
when we were
control.
kids.
Oh yeah.
Like you probably would not let your kid watch some of that stuff.
My parents had me watching Pretty Woman. I saw that so
Yeah.
many times when I was little. Like,
Dude, my grandma had that on a VHS. We'd watch it at her house. Like it's one of her favorite.
We're watching
movies.
about a
A prostitute, and he hires her. We didn't know any of that shit at the
She's
beginning.
like-
You barely knew what was going on.
I don't know if it was a good thing.
She's
for
all
me to-
he's all like, "What's your name?" And she's like, "What do you want it to be?" You
Oh
know, shit like that.
God. I know. I remember the piano sex scene too. Like,
I don't remember that, but
I remember that.
they fucked on a piano.
Yeah, and I really remember that.
I
So.
suppose that makes sense. But yeah,
It's
like we
probably
were
one of the
watching that
best
shit like it was
parts.
nothing.
Yeah, and Rocky Horror Picture Show. My dad thought that was so awesome. I mean, that's a great movie.
It is a good
Anybody
flick.
should.
The music in that.
You
Is,
gotta
we
see
watched
it.
that at I think it was one of my last jobs. They would do like a Rocky Horror Picture Night where they would show it at the bar.
I know
And people would
all
dress
the
up and shit.
songs, everything on there. Cause
Meatloaf on the fucking motorcycle. and-
oh yeah,
Yeah, but when you watch it, you're like, oh.
this is some.
Remember, like the
weird-ass shit.
dude's just banging everybody. He gets the girl to bang him. He's
Yeah.
banging the dude. He's banging like. It's like, oh my god, they're
like a
showing it
fuck
all
fest.
in the tent. They're just showing the shadows and everything. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you didn't think about it when you were watching it. You're just like, oh, this
My
seems
parents
normal.
were like, yeah, sure, whatever. Put that on.
I suppose. And look, we all turned out fine.
Just fine. Perfect. Yeah.
Because like horror movies too. I used to love watching horror movies.
I never did.
Still can't do it.
No. I certainly will not alone. I might watch it like a horror movie with somebody, but
Not alone.
definitely not alone.
What you got to do is
It just sounds like a
you
scary
put it on
night.
late at night by yourself in the dark.
That's the way to do
No,
it.
yeah, that's the way to do it.
Just alone.
Nah,
all
I think
wide
they're actually
awake.
more fun with groups of people.
Yeah.
Because then you can watch it and you don't get too scared. It's
Yeah. I feel like that about a lot of things too, though. It's fun to watch like comedy with someone too, because it makes it's
when you're by yourself, it's
when
like,
you
it's
can
funny,
relate
but
with somebody about it. It's like
or you're
more
both
fun.
like looking at each other like how
Laughing.
ridiculous this
Yeah.
shit is. Like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Some things are just better with like friends. you
Yeah.
know?
I did watch some with my ex like way long time ago. He was into the horror movies. He would like try to watch all of them and like
God,
see if he could handle it. It was weird.
Right.
But
So
we
now you
watched
hate
some
horror
like
movies.
we
forever.
watched some like B style like horror movies.
Oh, there's some wild
Those are pretty
ones.
funny. 'cause
They are
it's
funny.
So bad. It's so poorly made that it's
They're
like
terrible.
and
It's
the
like-
acting and the plot and everything in it. So you're just laughing.
It's
the whole
usually
time.
like something goes on, some teenagers fuck, and then after they fuck, they get killed.
yeah, somebody's gonna die.
Yeah, somebody gonna die. You shouldn't have fucked. Like that's the thing. Like the serial killer's like waiting just to kill people who fuck. He's like, I know. Yeah, that's some weird shit. Do you have any favorite genre of movies?
I really like comedy.
Comedies
That's
are
my
great.
most favorite. Is just funny stuff.
We definitely had some of the best comedies growing up for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Tommy Boy, Billy Madison, all those old like SNL ones.
Oh yes.
And then then we had like the Will Ferrell era.
Oh, Will Ferrell's amazing.
Like
I still love him.
Yeah, there's some good shit in there. What's your favorite comedy shit?
Oh my gosh. Right now, I started watching this show Uploaded that's pretty funny. It's about
Okay.
like some guy that It's
What's
a
that on? What streamer?
Prime.
Oh, Amazon Prime. Gotcha.
It's pretty hilarious. So it's like so right before someone's gonna die, they can choose to be uploaded to this cloud where they can live in this.
Okay, I want to see that now.
They can live in this like
I feel like that's
Lakeview
really
resort.
happen.
Yeah, and like this guy's crazy girlfriend that he's not really even that into yet. Like she convinces him that he's gonna die and he needs to get uploaded, and then she's in like complete control of all of his like money that he has to spend in this world and everything. It gets really
She tricked him
it's
good.
really weird and it's pretty hilarious though. So I've been watching that, but
Well, that's
I
an
loved
interesting
White
concept.
Lotus and I cannot wait for them to do more because that is just like
White-
one of the
White
funniest
Lotus was
things I've
fucking
seen. I'm like,
hilarious.
yes, please, more of that.
I don't know what was funnier, the first or the second, but they were both
They're
hilarious.
just good. It's all
Like for me, the
perfect.
first season, watching that hotel manager like slowly lose his shit
yeah,
and just
yeah.
get further and further into drugs, like that was.
And
the
then that lady
funniest
that
shit.
takes over too. Then the
Oh.
second season, the female manager.
Oh yeah, she was weird.
Yeah,
She definitely had some ulterior motives.
it's so fun.
That show is good.
Hopefully
Yeah.
we make more.
I don't know what's so good about it. It's just so like funny, but in a dark way. But the acting's so good.
I think it's like because it's real too. It's like the kind of shit that actually happens.
and it's like they kind of do it like a mystery. Like something happens, and but you don't know how it happened, and then towards
It's
the end,
a lot of awkward moments, like where they where they had like the lady from Stifler or what Stifler's mom.
Yeah.
I still don't know her
Well,
name.
it's Jennifer Coolidge, and
She's
her career
hilarious.
blew up because of that show.
She's so funny. She's
She's
like on the
great.
boat throwing her mom's ashes off or whatever, and
That's so
everyone
funny.
else is dealing with it. And it's
Yeah.
just like,
But
holy
she's
shit.
like super rich, so everybody has to deal with it.
Yeah, because she's paying for her so much. Yeah.
That is so
Good one.
ridiculous. So you do have HBO. Have you ever seen Righteous Gemstones?
No, is it good?
Oh fuck, you
Is
gotta
it?
watch. It's
Okay,
so
I started
goddamn
it and
funny.
I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Okay, but it gets
For me, that's
funnier.
like one of the funniest. Yeah,
Okay.
well, it's also just like there's. I've always found those like televangelist religious people really weird because they're like using religion to like make money and steal people's money.
Oh yeah.
And they're flying like private jets around and just. You know, it's like religion's good, but then when you're using it to it's like
Well, yeah, you have this huge community of people that believe and trust.
they just want hope, and you're
yeah,
like
and you take advantage of that. That's
taking
fucked
advantage.
Up.
Yeah, it's fucked up. So, but John Goodman, it's just a funny ass
Okay.
show. Yeah, I'd give it another shot.
I
but
will.
Maybe,
I will.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'll do it.
yeah. That one's up there. My one coworker's always like giving me. She suggested White Lotus and that one.
Okay.
And whenever she suggests a show, like my initial reaction is like, "What? I'm not gonna watch what you tell me. Shut up." No, I'm like always kind of mean to her because we have a good friendship.
Oh, good.
We just like mess with each other like that, and then I always end up watching. I'm like, "Oh my god, you're a genius! That show is hilarious." Yeah, but first thing, it's always like, "No, I'm not gonna watch that. What are you talking about? Why would I watch what a bird tells me to watch?" No, I always call her a bird. Like I don't know if you've ever seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that show's so fun.
Like,
Well, they call Dee a bird.
bird.
Yeah. So I call my coworker Tina a bird. I'm like, happy birthday, bird. I don't know. Probably mean to her. Nah, she's good shit. Well, anyways, let's see. We're getting close. We could probably wrap this thing up soon. I think it's pretty dope what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm having fun doing it.
It's got to be really cool, like with Emerald Cup coming up, like you said.
Oh yeah,
that
I can't wait.
you feel like you have something invested in it because you've helped so many of these people. And so when you watch it, it's more like watching a hometown team, right?
Yeah,
like
I'm
you
really
get to, like,
excited
root for your people.
Yeah,
and-
I'm excited. Exactly. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, they're gonna kill it. Yeah, and I'm getting more. I'm like learning more about it because it's funny because I can like kind of copy. I'll see what they're doing for the posing, and then I'll try to, and then I'm like, oh, that's why. That's why they're so tight right there. Like there's like a certain twist.
Right.
And I can tell usually like, oh, you pose into this side. Okay, you do this.
Oh,
like,
it's tough. Like, I think the big thing is conditioning, like holding the poses. Like that's what I've been trying to do in the morning. Is like, we did a class where it's like, okay, it was great, and it's like I'm working on weekends, so I'm like, God, I wish I could be at that class every weekend because
oh yeah.
I did one class with the group, and it's so valuable because you're going through your poses numerous times, But then you're also doing conditioning where you just hold them. So you're like doing 30 seconds, then a minute, and then like...
Because you got to be up there holding it for maybe 10 minutes.
Oh, it's going to be a
Make
long...
sure you look good
Yeah.
and don't look like you're struggling,
Yeah,
dying
you want to make
up there.
it look like it's easy
Yeah.
to hold, and it's not.
Well, a lot of... So the massage helps because... So a lot of the reason why it feels hard to hold that is because as you're holding it, the antagonists that want to pull you the other way are tight or short. And so you lengthen that and it makes it easier.
Yeah, that's why it's so valuable to get massage. So if somebody wants to work with you, how like you said, you're probably not taking on any new clients at the
I'm
moment.
super slammed. I'm always happy to hear from people. I honestly have like a bunch of people probably waiting to hear back from me.
Successful business owner right there, guys.
It makes me feel bad that I haven't gotten back to them, but I will.
There's only so much you can take on, though.
I'm definitely somebody that if I don't answer you just got to text me again because I have a lot of texts in my phone all the time, and I don't answer the phone usually.
Yep.
So only text me. Don't
Right.
email me because
If
there's
you
too
call
many
me,
things
I'm
in my
not
emails. Well,
Yeah.
my phone's always on silent because I massage, and then I'll like
Right.
forget to turn. It's just not a efficient way to get a hold of me. It's
Hell
like
yeah.
I can answer a text really quick usually. So.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and thanks for what you do.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
this
this
was
is
a lot
so
of fun.
cool.
Next time you come on, definitely bring your guitar. We'll do
Oh,
that,
yeah, that
that
would
Kid
be so
Rock
fun.
song. Try to do a cover of it or something. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nick.
Yep, and
Super
thanks
cool.
everybody out there for listening.
Woo!
What a great episode. Everybody have
Yay,
a great
thank
day.
you.